you were dead.
I couldn't come back.
He returns to take her where she's never been.
I killed a guy, double agent.
Meredith Baxter Birney. David Birney. The Long Journey Home, Sunday.
This is CBS.
Bud Mollison Honda has a great deal on 87 closeouts and a great selection of new 88s in stock. Low prices, big selection. Bud Mollison Honda, committed to quality.
My daddy used to lose his temper a lot. He'd go down to the basement and hit on our old furnace with my baseball bat and call terrible names. He did. But my daddy got a heat pump, and now he just reads the paper and smiles. He says the heat pump keeps the house just right all year. I know it keeps his temperature down. So if your daddy raises his voice when the temperature goes up or down, tell him where to go for a heat pump.
Go to Darden Green, your certified heat pump dealer.
Thanks, Dad.
Ah, you look
Mom,
healthy.
picture of I am alive.
Ever been screened for cancer?
No.
Why?
Busy.
You got 2 hours.
Got 2 hours.
Got $48.
Got $48.
It's a date.
Where?
Princeton's Cancer Screening Center.
Oh, you buying?
It's my treat.
I'll get dinner.
These days, there's no reason not to get screened for cancer. Call us for an appointment.
I'm Steve Ross. Join us for Action News 42 tonight at 5.
Returns to Legion Field today, while the heat of Alabama falls on Bill Curry, and tailback Bobby Humphrey knows his running must carry the Crimson Tide. For freshman quarterback Jeff Dunn, this will be the biggest moment of his life, and Bama supporters are hoping a win today will give their Tide, not LSU, a trip to the Sugar Bowl. War Eagle. Coach Pat Dye has heard that cry for years, but now the Auburn Tigers attack in the air and not on the ground. Quarterback Jeff Berger is the field general, while Kurt Crane and Andre Bruce hope to sack themselves an SEC title and a trip to the Sugar Bowl. So today, it is Alabama versus Auburn. About to witness the last game of its kind in this storied rivalry, the last time that half of Legion Field's 75,000-plus seats will be allotted to Auburn and half to Alabama. Sometime in the near future, this will become a home-and-home rivalry. It may even see changes which will prevent it from being played every year. So today, for the 52nd time, Alabama and Auburn, their players, fans, and supporters meet to celebrate something special.
You know, it's going to be talked about for years and years, and, you know, usually this is the game that, you know, most people remember. You know, how many games you played during the regular season, how many you win, and whatever happened during those games. You know, this game right here today is going to be the biggest game, and it's going to, you know, be talked about forever and ever.
You know, the people in Alabama live for this game 365 days a year.
And as this last Southeastern Conference game of the year begins, here are the standings. Auburn on top with an inside track to the Sugar Bowl. LSU's only loss was to Alabama. A Crimson Tide upset today would force a decision between LSU and Alabama for the Sugar Bowl berth. Hello, I'm Jim Lampley, and here to watch this great game with me is Tim Brandt. And Tim, as if there weren't enough natural differences between the constituencies of these two schools, they are very different football teams as well.
Jim, there's a definite contrast in styles. There's no question about that. Auburn has had a tough time running the football this year, ironically, and Alabama has been very inconsistent with the passing game. Auburn is favored, and well, they should be. This is one of the best defensive units in the country. As a matter of fact, the Tigers have not allowed an opposing running back to go for 100 yards this year. Alabama's Bobby Humphrey averages well over 100 yards per game. That is the major conflict.
So Auburn must stop Bobby Humphrey. Alabama, on the other hand, must stop Auburn's passing game and Jeff Berger. Number one, Alabama has to force some turnovers. They also have to give Jeff Berger a lot of different looks defensively. I don't think they can confuse him, but they have to make him think. And watch for number 55 for Alabama. That's Derek Thomas. He has 15 sacks this year. But when you blitz, you have to play man-to-man defense. And they've got 5'11" cornerbacks out there. Lawyer Tillman, the All-American wide receiver for Auburn, is 6'4", and that's a mismatch. Indeed, Auburn appears physically superior and is favored in the game, but history shows in this rivalry anything can happen.
In the 1988 Olympic Games, something special will happen. Every American athlete will bring home the gold. Gold-tipped, long-lasting Kodak batteries. The official batteries of the 1988 Olympic Games.
In 1859, Isaac Cook created a great American champagne to launch the great American clipper ships. Today, Americans are still launching celebrations with Cook's Imperial American Champagne. When your ship comes in, celebrate with Cook's Imperial American Champagne.
Performance isn't just the total number of miles driven, but rather how your car performed when you drove each one of them. Give your car the good life with STP gas treatment.
Never before has an antifreeze guaranteed your radiator. Use new Prestone Advanced Formula after Super Flush, and should our protection fail, we'll pay for your radiator repairs. Prestone, the antifreeze that guarantees your radiator.
Sometimes you got it today. Emerson's got it right. Fine-tune your life. Nobody's got to tell you. Emerson does it right. Fine-tune your life.
Fine-tune your life with Emerson.
As we mentioned, this is the 52nd meeting between Alabama and Auburn. The Crimson Tide leads the series, and it is one of college football's most storied battles. A look back now. The first Alabama-Auburn game was played in 1893, attended by 546 supporters of the two schools, and won by Auburn. But in 1908, the series was suspended for 40 years, years in which anticipation built for the 1948 resumption of the rivalry, a 55-0 Alabama rout. In 1967, Kenny Stabler scored the lone touchdown in what has been dubbed the Mud Bowl, a frustrating day for the Auburn Tigers as they had controlled most of the game. In 1972, punt, Bama punt. Bill Newton blocked 2 punts. David Langner returned them both for touchdowns. Auburn rallied in the fourth quarter, 17-16. In 1983, Bo Jackson had 2 long runs. This one, a 71-yard touchdown as Auburn beat Alabama for the second straight year. 1985, Van Tippen kicked the 52-yard field goal on the game's last play to steal a 2-point Alabama victory. Last year, for the 5th straight time, the game was decided by 4 points or less. The hero, Lawyer Tillman, who scored on an improbable reverse to bring Auburn from behind. So the historical and emotional incentives are overwhelming. But there are Sugar Bowl implications riding here today as well. And for more on that, let's go down to field level and James Brown.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Standing with me is Jerry Romick, the president of the Sugar Bowl. And, Jerry, the obvious scenario, if Auburn wins, they're in the Sugar Bowl. But what if Alabama wins, creating a co-sharing of a lead in the SEC?
The criteria would be last appearance in the Sugar Bowl, among others, national rankings, among others, head-to-head appearance, among others. And, of course, I think the way the game is played today.
So contrary to popular belief, if Alabama wins and they're tied with LSU, that doesn't mean that LSU is automatically in?
No. We have a 17-man committee. We'll meet Sunday morning and decide who goes.
All right, so there's an awful lot riding on this game, adding to the drama of the Iron Bowl. And we'll be back with more of our pregame activities after this word from your local station.
This is CBS.
At Bill Farley GMC, we're expanding to make this the biggest GMC truck center in the state. But before we can, we must move our current stock of almost 100 new trucks, Jimmys, and vans. Bill Farley GMC will give you the lowest price on a new truck, like this new GMC S15 for just $68.88, or pay $88 down and just $149 a month. And when you buy any new truck this month, we'll throw in a new chainsaw at no extra cost. If it has to do with trucks, find it at Farley. Bill Farley GMC, I-59 at Inslee Avenue.
When Thanksgiving is over, get to Rich's the quickest way you can for Rich's 2-day after Thanksgiving sale. Drop in for 25 to 30% off the entire stock of men's outerwear and rainwear. Also save 25% on kids' outerwear. Van Heusen broadcloth dress shirts are 50% off at just $9.99. And Van Heusen flannel and woven plaid sport shirts also $9.99. The store opens at 7:30 a.m. this Friday and Saturday only. Save on everything you need at Rich's 2-day after Thanksgiving sale. It starts here.
WBMG, Birmingham 42, in stereo.
Old soldiers never die, but neglected batteries do. That's why I feel better with a Delco battery under the hood. Seal tight, maintenance free. With plenty of startup power to handle cold mountain weekends.
Precision AC Delco parts. They don't just fit, they match.
We old soldiers spend our time on live trout, not dead batteries.
Now get up to $5 back on Delco batteries. See your retailer for details.
The Great American Face. Rugged, distinctive. The Great American Razor. Atra. Solid. Pivots for closeness. The Great American Face deserves the Great American Shave. Atra. Only from Gillette.
To those who, with a boundless energy and burning spirit, live to be the best, comes a salute from those of us who live by the same values, the U.S. Armed Forces.
Listen to the heartbeat of America.
It's the rhythm of the road. It's the pulse on the street.
Pulse on the street.
City and town, magic sound.
If you want the adventure of it all, put yourself in today's Chevy S10 Blazer and listen to your heartbeat.
Ooh, the heartbeat of America. Chevrolet.
That's today's Chevy truck.
Now moments away from the kickoff in Legion Field, and on come the Crimson Tide of Alabama. 7 wins, 3 losses on the season. A big early season victory over Penn State, followed by a damaging loss to Florida. Later losses to Memphis State and Notre Dame. But as you heard, they can still go to the Sugar Bowl with a big win today. And now the Tigers of Auburn. Preseason favorites to win the Southeastern Conference and leading the league as expected coming into this day. The only loss outside the league to Florida State. And, of course, an early season tie with Tennessee. And there is Jeff Berger, the leader of the Tigers, as he comes off from the coin toss at the middle of the field. And in a few moments, we will have the opening kickoff of this game.
CBS Sports presents college football. Live from Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. It's the Alabama Crimson Tide versus the Auburn Tigers. Today's CFA game is sponsored by the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet. Michelob Light. When the sun goes down, light up the night with Michelob Light. And by AT&T, the right choice.
Light up the night. When the sun goes down, gonna light up the night. Silver label, red ribbon, chase that ride. Gonna light up the night. Michelob Light. Gonna light up the night. Gonna light up the night. Gonna light up the night. My Michelob Light. Dreaming, the
GMC makes financing or leasing the new GM car or truck of your dreams easy. Just see your General Motors dealer. We'll help your dream come true.
The dreams of America, GMC. We're making your dreams come true. The dreams of America, GMC.
Official sponsor of America's Dreams.
Memo to Phil in DP. You seem to think IBM's 386 PCs are an automatic buy. I don't. Not when we have a choice. I suggest you look at AT&T's 6386.
Introducing the AT&T 6386 workgroup system.
The issue here isn't just computers and software, but it's keeping our options open, now and down the road.
My brother Dick bought a Magnavox camcorder. Gonna shoot TV movies, right, Dick?
Sure.
Big lights, the whole thing.
Don't need lights. With this, I could shoot by candlelight.
Yeah, but he's forgetting about outdoor action and
Hey,
all
it's
that.
got high shutter speed for clean, fast action.
Yeah, but what about all the other things? You got to be in.
Tom, this new camcorder by Magnavox has got everything. It's fully automatic, has instant playback, weighs just 3.5 pounds, and it's so simple that even my...
Yeah, I know. Even his brother can use it.
That's right, you got it. Look over here. Come on.
We return to jam-packed Legion Field. I'm Tim Lapley with Tim Brandt. You look at weather conditions for today's game. Humidity 93%, and there is a chance of rain. Auburn won the coin toss and deferred the decision to the second half, Tim.
Obviously, what they want to do, Jim, is get their defense on the field first. Their defensive unit, as we mentioned, one of the best in the country. They want to control Alabama early. Now, keep in mind, the last 3 years, the underdog has won in this ball game, and Alabama is the underdog. The other thing is, Auburn is the home team in this ball game. Although they have not played a game in this field all year, Alabama has played all of its games here.
Chris Johnson will kick off for Auburn. Kerry Good, number 35, and Bobby Humphrey, the All-American, number 26, deep for Alabama. And this is Good, who will down it in the end zone. So Alabama will start with the football from its 20-yard line. Redshirt freshman Jeff Dunn is the quarterback. In the backfield with Dunn, Doug Allen brings plays in and out at fullback. Bobby Humphrey is the key to the Alabama offense. Marco Battle and Clay Whitehurst, the wide receivers. Whitehurst is the possession receiver on 3rd and long for the Crimson Tide. On first down, Allen and Humphrey behind Dunn. And Humphrey moves the chain as he gets past the 30-yard line for an 11-yard gain on the pitch sweep, which is the bread and butter of the Alabama offense. Mike Zuga starts the day at center for the Crimson Tide. He is flanked by a pair of outstanding guards, Larry Rose and number 77, Bill Condon. The tackles, Jeff Bentley, and a freshman named Terrell Chapman, who's had a terrific year for a first-year player. Tight end Howard Cross may figure in the offense as a receiver more frequently than is normally the case today. First down for Alabama. Humphrey again. This time met and dropped as number 93, Andre Bruce, was there to stop it. Bruce is one of the keys to the Auburn defense, which has Benji Rowland at the middle guard. Rowland is flanked by Ron Stallworth, who has replaced the injured Tracy Rocker, and Nate Hill. Outside of them, the linebackers in the middle are Edward Phillips and Kurt Crane, the key to stopping the running game for Auburn. Alvin Mitchell and All-America Andre Bruce, who is the big play player on the Tiger defense. Second down and 11 for Alabama. One throw is a little bit behind Marco Battle. And so now, as they face 3rd and long, they'll be trying to throw against a defense which features Kevin Porter and Alvin Briggs at the corners. And at the safeties, Greg Staples, the strong safety, Carlo Cheatham, free to roam from the weak safety position.
Jeff Dunn, just a freshman, Jim. You can see right now he's starting to feel the pressure of this ball game. He had Clay Whitehurst wide open on that last play, but felt the pressure, rushed it, and threw it low. Bruce may have gotten an early start. No flag went down. And
the ball high. And now the flag does go down.
There is no question but the fact he jumped. He was across the line of scrimmage before the snap.
So that will give Alabama another third down chance. And Dunn continues to exhibit what might be interpreted as early game jitters.
Repeat third down.
Jeff Dunn, 6'1", 200-pound redshirt freshman, strong arm, mature guy, named SEC Player of the Week in his first start. That was against Tennessee. Now, he was 15-0 as a high school starter. He was 3-0 as a starter here at Alabama until he got hurt in the second quarter against Notre Dame.
Heavily recruited player out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Humphrey in motion. Heavy rush, and Dunn just gets rid of the football. David Rocker, number 95, a freshman, was the man who was right in Jeff Dunn's face as he tried to cut it loose. So Alabama will bring the punting unit onto the field. The punter is a junior, number 5, Chris Moore. Duke Donaldson, number 29, deep to receive for Auburn. Alabama has a strong punting game.
Second best in the SEC, but Auburn ranks second in punt return, so this should be interesting.
Punt is very high. Donaldson backs away from it. It goes out of bounds. And Auburn will have good field position as they'll start the offense just short of their own 40-yard line. Jeff Berger has had a tumultuous year. A lot of off-the-field problems. On field, he has been brilliant. Auburn has searched for a running game. Reggie Ware, mostly a blocker. Stacey Danley has come on to take over the tailback position in the second half of the season. Outstanding receivers. Lawyer Tillman, one of the best in the country, and as Tim told you, 6 feet 4 inches tall. Duke Donaldson also elusive on the other side. Donaldson in motion. Berger will throw on first down. And the pass is complete underneath for a short gain, and we'll take a quick look at the Auburn offensive line, which has Hudson at center, and he is flanked by Stacey Dunn and Rodney Gardner. Outside of Garner and Dunn, Eric Floyd starts at a tackle. You'll also see Jim Thompson on the left side, Stacy Searles on the other side, and the tight end Walter Reeves is called by his coach Pat Dye the best in the country. Second down 7. And this is Danley, who is dropped after a short gain by Greg Gilbert of Alabama. The middle of the defensive line for Alabama finds Willie Wyatt at the nose guard. He is flanked by Tommy Cole and number 89, Philip Brown. Inside linebackers, Robert Stewart, and the key man against the running game, number 56, Greg Gilbert. And the outside linebackers, the excellent Derek Thomas, who has 15 sacks this year, and co-captain Randy Rockwell. On third down and 5, the pass to Donaldson is incomplete. A little bit underthrown, good coverage by cornerback Shannon Felder. And starting along with Mangum is Gene Jelks. Felder was in as an extra defensive back on that play. Lee Osment, the strong safety, is 6 feet 5 inches tall. Kermit Kendrick roams from free safety. Punting situation now for Auburn. Brian Schulman, number 1, will punt it away to Gene Jelks, who is deep for Alabama. Long kick. Jelks at the 10. Met immediately and dropped by Perry Reed, who was downfield on coverage. So now Alabama will start at its own 11-yard line after the 49-yard punt.
There's an advanced new shape in heavy haulers. The smooth, rounded shape of aerodynamics to cheat the wind and put more power to work. You see it in big rigs and right out front in the advanced new full-size Chevy with standard Vortec V6. Enough standard power to tow over 58 tons of these big rigs and this Ford.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
Wait till you see the changes we're making at Howard Johnson.
This is Howard Johnson?
This is Howard Johnson?
This is Howard Johnson?
Howard Johnson.
Cocktail, Wheaties. You, Chunky, get over here.
Nothing takes care of a mean appetite like Campbell's Chunky.
That better not be the last of the Chunky.
Campbell's Chunky, it takes care of the meanest appetites.
We go above and beyond just like you. Above and beyond what we have to do, ensuring the best in life for you.
When it comes to life insurance, nobody goes above and beyond like your Prudential representative.
You take pride in your life, so do we. Going above and beyond is our policy. The Prudential, above and beyond.
Third-ranked Florida State faces Florida. Then Notre Dame's championship hopes have been shattered. Now can the Irish shatter the hopes of Miami? Tomorrow on CBS Sports.
As we bring you back to a cloudy day in Legion Field, Bill Curry's Alabama Crimson Tide are tied up with Auburn. Alabama, playing the schedule arranged years ago by Bear Bryant, has had the toughest go of it among the three top teams in the SEC. Included among Alabama's biggest wins, of course, a road victory at Baton Rouge over LSU. Now the Tide starts from its own 11-yard line with a new pair of wide receivers in the game and Bobby Humphrey getting the ball on first down. And there you see the Auburn defense against the run, led by defensive tackle Fernando Horn, which has always been a hallmark of Pat Dye's teams.
Jim, Pierre Good has just checked into the ballgame. That's Kerry Good's brother, and he is a flyer, the fastest guy on this team. As a matter of fact, he runs under a 4.340. He's had 4 catches this year. 3 were for touchdowns, and they also like to get into the reverse.
They've also brought in Angelo Stafford, replacing Clay Whitehurst on the other side of the field. Second and long. Auburn almost jumps, but doesn't. And riding inside, it's the fullback, Doug Allen, with the football and a short gain. And now it's going to be third and long for Jeff Dunn inside his own 15-yard line. It'll be interesting to see if Alabama throws here or goes with that reverse.
I tell you what, Jim, I think you've got to throw. I think you've got to make them respect you right now. You've been inconsistent. You haven't been able to throw all year effectively. This is a ball club, Alabama, that's had 6 players complete passes this year.
Now the Auburn fans try to crank up the noise to distract Dunn as he approaches 3rd and 9. And he gives to Humphrey on the draw, and Humphrey gets a big play for Alabama to get them out of the shadow of their own goal line and pick up the second Crimson Tide first down of the game. Carlo Cheatham on the tackle, 17 yards for Bobby Humphrey.
See, and they thought Pat Dye was thinking like I was, so all of a sudden, here they come now. They run this quick opener inside, and here comes Bobby Humphrey. This is the kind of guy, Jim, you don't like to analyze the style, you like to admire it. See his shifty feet, he's got good balance, low center of gravity, great speed, and the best thing about him, he's got outstanding vision.
And you saw him get away from 2 good tacklers, Andre Bruce and Kevin Porter. Now on first down, the Tide gives inside to fullback Bo Wright, number 40, who has come into the game to bring a play to Dunn. Wright, number 40, and Allen, 46, come in and out to bring plays to Jeff Dunn.
Alabama has the best fullback combination in the country, bar none. And I said that last year. I still believe it. Wright and Allen are strong. They're great blockers, and they also can run the football.
Kerry Good is in the game now at tailback, replacing Humphrey. It is 2nd down 7. And Good is wrapped up as he tries to hit up inside. Number 92, Ron Stallworth, was there, along with inside linebacker Quentin Riggins, who's in the game momentarily, replacing Kurt Crane. So both coaches going to the bench early.
Alabama, obviously, as we expected, trying to establish that run with Humphrey. They have to do that. If they can't get that going, then they're in a lot of trouble, because if they get in a situation where they have to pass a lot, then all of a sudden it's all over. They can turn Andre Bruce loose.
That Dye, 3-3 versus Alabama as a head coach at Auburn. He was an assistant coach under Bear Bryant for 9 years. So this is his 16th visit to Legion Field for this game. Dunn completes it down the middle. Number 40 with the football is Allen. Quentin Riggins made the stop, but Allen has moved the chain again. So Alabama has its 3rd first down of the game, and Dunn has a big completion.
Watch how they utilize him now. We just talked about the fullback combination. Little play action, not a good fake to Kerry Good. But see number 40 right up there at the top left of your screen? Here's your fullback. He just kind of slid out. He's the Iceman. Little safety valve underneath. Makes the catch, gets the first down. Dunn fakes it to right. Throws complete. Well, it is called incomplete now as Whitehurst was unable to get a foot down inbounds. I'll tell you, it was a great effort by that guy, 82, though. Whitehurst, he's a reliable receiver. He's got a tough body, soft hands. He separates nicely from the defensive backs. Tried to keep his feet in, but the ball was over his right shoulder. Watch him now. He's what they call a possession receiver. Here he comes, and watch what he tries to do with his body here to keep his feet in. Matter of fact, I think he had him in, but he didn't have possession of the ball. That was the key.
Exactly the ruling. He did not control the football with the foot in bounds. He did do a good job of ballet stepping along the sideline. So it is 2nd and 10. Dunn is 1 of 4 in the air. Harry Good. And the once brilliant prospect, whose career was marred by knee injuries, is stopped by Stallworth and Porter after a pickup of about 3.
Well, I was here, Jim, the night he hurt that knee. They were playing Boston College. Kerry Good had 297 yards total offense just starting the 3rd period against Boston College and had his knee completely blown out. I had to do the injury report, one of the toughest things I've ever had to do. The doctor looked up at me and said his career may be over, but here he is back.
And Bill Curry chose him as a captain for today's game, saying that his leadership and his help to Bobby Humphrey have been exemplary. Now, on 3rd down the middle to number 85, the tight end Howard Cross, and Cross tries to lean forward to move the chains, and I think he's about a yard short. Edward Phillips made the stop for Auburn.
Timeout for the officials to measure the game.
And we're going to see a measurement.
Jim, they've been using Cross as a receiver a lot more this year. He came into this game with 15 catches. You know, he caught only 5 passes last year, none his freshman year. He's a mathematics major, and I guess if your favorite subject is math, you got to look at that thing and say 2 years plus 5 catches equals block.
So you can see the distance right there as Bill Curry noodles out a 4th down decision, goes to the headset to talk upstairs.
Tell you what, I think you've got to go for that right there. Everything's on the line right here. You want to play smart, but you want to go for it too.
Well, I don't know. If you punt it, you've got a chance to pin Auburn deep in what is frequently a game where field position decides matters.
But early on, Jim, you want to establish dominance. You're already in their territory, so you won't be hurt that badly by field position. You're not in the 4-down area yet, but go ahead and be aggressive. This is that kind of game. Hey, listen, they win this game, they go to the Sugar Bowl possibly. You lose, you drop back into 4th place.
They agree with you. I'm not sure I wouldn't kick the football myself. 4th and inches for Alabama. Full house backfield. Number 40 is Bo Wright. I still think I might have kicked it.
Well, I tell you what, he didn't get it, so everybody in the stadium is going to agree with you now, and they'll second guess Bill Curry. Keep in mind, there's a lot of pressure on Curry today, too. First year at Alabama, but he's 0-7 in his career against Pat Dye.
Well, I don't think we can be so sure they didn't get it. It's all going to depend on the mark. They only needed about 6 inches. You see that light tuft of gray hair right on Curry's bangs. You imagine it's gotten just a little bit grayer this year. Referee Al Ford has signaled for the chain again. That is Bud Williams, who is holding the football in place.
Boy, that's going to be close.
Auburn gets the football back in good field position at its 47-yard line. So Alabama elected not to punt for a chance to pin Auburn deep early in the game, and consequently, the Tigers will be comfortable as they start the offense.
What could have been a great big boost for Alabama now becomes a motivational factor for Auburn. The Tigers now know they stopped them on 4th and inches. It was that close. They didn't get it. Auburn now goes to the offense, and he'll have the football when we come back.
Light up the night when the sun goes down. Gonna light up the night. Silver label, red ribbon, taste that's right. Gonna light up the night. Michelob Light. Gonna light up the night. Gonna light up the night. Gonna light up the night. My Michelob Light.
Presenting a turning point in the history of screwdriving. The Black & Decker cordless screwdriver. A screwdriver so powerful it can drive 100 screws on a single charge. Any less, and it wouldn't be the Black & Decker cordless screwdriver.
Tums is one antacid that can really handle heartburn. It's a lot stronger than the number 2 brand.
That's one good reason we use Tums. And Tums happens to be rich in calcium.
That's the second good reason.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Look how easy the HX is to use.
Incredibly easy to use. The Tandy 1000 HX includes 7 ready-to-run programs.
And it was on sale for only $8.49.
It even comes with a color monitor and runs PC-compatible software.
Look at Peter. They'll love this surprise.
The Tandy 1000 HX and color monitor on sale only $8.49. Only at Radio Shack.
Meredith Baxter Birney.
I thought you were dead.
David Birney.
I killed a guy. Double agent.
A spellbinding chiller. The Long Journey Home. Sunday.
Less than half the first quarter gone in Legion Field, and already we've had a moment of drama. This was fullback Bo Wright's attempt to get a first down on 4th and inches at the Auburn 47. That was the middle of the Auburn defensive line's response, and this was the response of Coach Bill Curry, who made the call. Come on, move it. I'm not sure we got it. And they didn't. And, Tim, I'm telling you again, I kick that ball every time.
Oh, every coach in America is saying that right now, Jim. That's the wise thing to do, you say. Hey, listen, I'm saying get that dominance right now. This is one of the best defenses in the country. Get that first down and push it back. Obviously, they didn't get it. It was a great stand there by Auburn.
So Auburn now moving from its 47-yard line, and with a little emotional lift, Reggie Ware, the fullback, takes it from Berger and moves it across midfield into Alabama territory. Robert Stewart made the stop for Alabama. Interesting to me, Tim, how much the two coaches have already gone to their benches. Alabama had the ball for 10 plays in that last possession. Humphrey carried it only twice.
I'll tell you this, Jim, if they score on this, Pat Dye and everybody else is going to second-guess what Bill Curry did on that short yardage situation.
Oh, no, Pat won't have to. He'll love it. He'll be the beneficiary. He'll keep his mouth shut. Big play from the middle of the Alabama defensive line as number 55, Derek Thomas, bolted across from his linebacker position and made the tackle for a loss. This is one of the best linebackers in America and probably hasn't gotten enough credit for his work.
I agree with you. Derek Thomas is 6'4", 222 pounds. Some say he's as quick as Cornelius Bennett, although I don't believe that. But he's got 15 sacks for minus 116 yards. Look at the middle of the screen. He just didn't get blocked. Came through cleanly, got rid of any blockers around him, came through and made the tackle.
Interesting that he is customarily an outside linebacker, and that time lined up in the middle of the defense.
What we talked about earlier, a lot of different looks for Berger.
3rd and 9, Berger throws to Lawyer Tillman, who makes a sensational grab but is upended without being able to plant inbounds. Gene Jelks made the play for Alabama, and Jelks will go deep now to receive a punt.
Jelks is one of the best athletes on this field. Certainly the best athlete for Alabama. Bottom of the screen, this is Tillman. Just a sideline out, and here comes Jelks, who has 4.4 speed, just gets underneath. Now, if the official looks at that and says, well, if you hadn't hit him, he comes down in bounds, it's a catch. That's a judgment call, but he was out of bounds, clearly.
Schulman picks up the low snap and lines it to Jelks, who makes a fair catch at the 12. So for the second consecutive time now, the Crimson Tide will start a possession deep in their own territory. 41-yard punt by Chris Schulman. No return for Jelks. 6:24 to go in the quarter, and we'll be back.
In one of these, and in one of these. One of these lasts longer than all the rest.
Two rights, the extraordinary Energizer.
In one of these, one of these lasts longer than all the rest.
Two rights, the extraordinary Energizer.
It'll surprise ya.
Laboratory tests prove in most devices, Energizer lasts longer than any other battery. New Energizer.
Aye.
Paul Newman's brother.
I'm Arthur Newman. I'm no heartthrob, but Dean Witter still handles my investments with tender, loving care.
You're somebody to Dean Witter.
A member of the Sears Financial Network.
New from Black & Decker, the Air Station. It has all the pressure you need to inflate anything. Fast,
the Black & Decker Air Station. Always at your service.
Listen to the heartbeat.
And you'll hear how to get a lot more Chevy for a lot less. $350 to $1,200 less on a specially equipped new Beretta, Cavalier, or Celebrity, depending on the car you select. You could even save $1,200 on this new Corsica, with options like air conditioning, tilt wheel, and more. Couldn't you go for savings like these right now?
The heartbeat of America. Just a day, Chevrolet.
As the Auburn War Eagle looks on with 6:24 to go in the first quarter at Legion Field, Alabama and Auburn are scoreless. The Crimson Tide starting its third possession of the game from its 13-yard line. So far, Alabama has gained 51 yards of total offense and held Auburn to only 5. Dunn going to throw from near his goal line. Releases over the middle and gets it to number 85, Howard Cross, and that was dangerous. There was a defender between Dunn and Cross. He just couldn't get his hands on the ball. If you are anticipating a close game, history will tell you you're probably right. Last 5 games in the series, all decided by 4 points or less.
Last 5 games, Jim, a total of 12 points, as you mentioned. And over the last 6 years, these two teams have split.
7-yard gain on the pass to Cross. Ball now at the 19. Humphrey, pitch sweep, good block. Out near the 30-yard line. Another Alabama first down. Edward Phillips and Alvin Briggs knocked him out of bounds. Humphrey over 30 yards rushing in the game now on only 5 carries. And interestingly, Andre Bruce was on the bench for a couple of plays for Auburn. Now he comes back onto the field.
Jim, Bobby Humphrey gained over 7,000 yards as a high school player, and you can only speculate on how good he can become. He said Marcus Allen is the pro he likes to watch or emulate. You can see some of Marcus Allen's style in Humphrey.
As new incentive this week, the first couple of All-America teams to come out did not list Humphrey on the first team. Gaston Green and Lorenzo White ahead of him. Now the fake reverse to Good. Humphrey cuts up inside and has a gain across the 30 to about the 32-yard line.
Stop made by number 95, David Rocker, and number 96, Denzel Rowan.
Jim, that's twice now with Pierre Good in the ball game. Last time, on that dangerous pass they threw to Cross, they had Pierre Good run the fly pattern, and that's what Auburn was expecting out of him. Now they run the reverse. They also expect that out of him, and they fake it to him. So pretty much a decoy to this point.
3-yard gain. It is 2nd and 7. Humphrey now with 6 carries for 39 yards. Pitch sweep again. And this time, Craig Ogletree, number 94, getting a surprise start at linebacker today, was able to burst across and dump Humphrey for a loss. I'm saying pitch sweep because the action looks like an option, but you just know Dunn isn't going to keep the ball.
Boy, I tell you, Ogletree made a great play, too. Kept his shoulders squared, stayed down the line, strung the play out, used the sideline as an ally. Got him boxed in there and made a fine open field tackle.
Now it is 3rd down 9 for Dunn. And this one is picked off. Went down the middle one too many times. Kurt Crane, number 39, was there with Cross all the way, and that pass should not have been thrown.
Surprised me because they were in a 2-deep zone. Watch Crane this time. A 2-deep zone for Auburn. He's got to get back to his hook area, then read anything that's coming around. There's Cross, 85 on the right. Just takes it, slides with the eyes of the quarterback. The quarterback, Dunn, never looked him off. He went right to the football and made the interception.
Crane, a transfer from Memphis State. Preseason All-America for Auburn, and he's had a big year.
He got a Heisman Trophy vote.
Yes, that's right. Stacy Danley on first down, sweeping to the right, has a pickup of about 7. Inside the Alabama 35-yard line before Thomas knocked him out of bounds. And I go back to that 4th and 1. The refusal to punt on 4th and 1 created the field position advantage for Auburn, which now gives them the football at the Alabama 34.
I can't argue that. You're absolutely right. It's been on this side of the field now since that play.
2nd down 3. This time, the Alabama defense holds firm in the middle.
That doesn't mean I relinquish my position, though. I still would have gone for it.
I know. But you say they should have gone on 4th down to establish dominance. Auburn is the dominant team.
Well, you also want to get the mindset of your team. You've got an offensive line there that has struggled a little bit. He's got them to the point now where they move the football in that first quarter. You want to get out there and make sure they can blow them out for 1 foot. That's all they needed. They needed less than a foot.
Bill Curry, who took over the head coaching reins at Alabama from his good friend Ray Perkins, and Perkins went south to Tampa Bay. 3rd down 2 for Auburn.
Timeout called by Auburn.
And the Tigers called timeout, as apparently Berger didn't like the set of the defense when he came to the line of scrimmage.
Well, I'll tell you something. Berger is a very disciplined quarterback. He takes whatever the defense gives him. He reads well, and Berger works with a lot of autonomy. He carries Jim 3 plays to the line of scrimmage and fits him into the weakness of the defense. So you're right. He came up. Those 3 plays didn't fit into what he was doing. Didn't like the defense that Alabama was in and called the timeout.
Got a moment to remind you about CBS Sports' college football doubleheader tomorrow. Number 3 ranked Florida State closing out the regular season against Florida. Seminoles going to win that one, Tim?
I like the Seminoles. I think it's the best football team in the country, bar none right now. They run to the football. Obviously, they can't win the national championship, but I think they're the best team.
Better than Oklahoma and
Yes,
Miami.
I do think that. Keep in mind, they had Miami on the ropes. If he had gone for the tie, he would have been in contention right now for the national championship.
Well, Miami will get to state their case further in the second half of the doubleheader as they take on Notre Dame. Notre Dame, having had its national championship hopes dashed by the loss to Penn State, will now try to do the same thing to the Hurricanes. Who do you like in that one?
Miami.
Better talent?
That's not necessarily who I like. That's who I think I'm going to win. Who's going to win the ball?
That's
game.
what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm asking you who you think is going to win. I'm not asking for your personal allegiance here. Now Jeff Berger brings Auburn back to the line of scrimmage on 3rd down 2 and gives inside to Reggie Ware. And Ware is at the 30 and just across, and that will be a 1st down for Auburn.
But I'll tell you something. That's a big play for the Tigers because this is a team that has really lived by the run in years past. I can't remember when they didn't have a great running back with Brooks, Bo Jackson, Brett Bolden. But they don't have that now, and they've really struggled with the running game. That time they loaded up with a power eye and just jammed it in there for the first.
That was the first down of the ball game for the Auburn offense. Hanley with the football. And you can sense at this moment, Tim, that Pat Dye would like to establish what has been so woefully lacking for Auburn much of the season, a running game.
Well, and that's exactly what we were talking about earlier that Alabama was trying to do. Now, Stacey Danley's the guy. He came into this game as the Tigers' leading ball carrier. He had a healthy 4.8 yards per carry. He's a redshirt freshman from Winston, Georgia, 19 years old, but he was putting the ball on the ground early in the season, so they pulled him out and benched him. Now he's holding on to it, and he's doing pretty well.
Time ticking away in the first quarter. On 2nd and 6, Danley is dropped by Derek Thomas, 55, and Greg Gilbert, 56. And Thomas is so quick across the line of scrimmage, you sometimes wonder if he has anticipated the snap count.
I tell you what they have to work on. They say they got to work on discipline for this guy. They say he's out of control sometimes, but this time, look, comes in square, reads the play, just comes down the line and makes it. You've got to keep that outside free if you're playing on the outside because you have containment, so you have to be very careful. That time he came in very well under control.
Both Thomas and Gilbert are juniors. So Alabama can look forward to another year of their big play. On 3rd down, Berger. The pass is intercepted. Intercepted. Number 9, Mike Smith with the pickoff for Alabama. And I have to think that was a bad read for Berger, who threw right into double coverage.
You know, and it's unusual, too, because we talked about how smart he is in his decision-making on the field anyway. Quarterback efficiency, that's the mathematical way of saying he makes very few mistakes. But you can see here, he throws into zone coverage. There's 2 Alabama guys there. Nice play by Smith. He just stayed in his hip pocket, came in at the very last second and made the interception. Here comes Derek Thomas. Look at him. Strong inside. There's still no pressure on Berger. I don't know why he rushed the throw. He threw it off balance.
That was Jelks who was there on the coverage along with Smith. And on 1st down, Bobby Humphrey has about 4 for Alabama before Edward Phillips is able to knock him out.
Jim, let's watch now and see what Auburn's doing defensively. Because Bobby Humphrey's been hitting those corners, but he's been coming inside the contained man. So somewhere in there, they're forcing a blocker and pushing him out. They're coming underneath the contained man. A pursuit hadn't been able to catch up to Bobby Humphrey.
8 carries for 40 yards for Humphrey. So far, the teams have traded interceptions. Auburn has been unable to take advantage of a field position edge throughout the first quarter. 2nd down, 6. Humphrey by himself, and number 3, Kevin Porter, would not allow him to get away.
Yeah, but Jim, see, that time the play was made by the contained man on that side for Auburn. He shut down that time. It was Alvin Mitchell. They didn't push him out, so Humphrey couldn't get inside. He had outside containment and made the play.
As Humphrey ran away from the blocking, Alabama trying to influence Auburn away from the play, and Mitchell stayed home. 3rd down. They need about 6 for the first down. Battle and Whitehurst, the receivers. Dunn gets away, and now is dropped. And with time ticking away in the first quarter and 45 seconds now remaining, Dunn goes to the sideline as Alabama will once again be forced to punt it away. Number 5, Chris Moore, will await the snap, and Duke Donaldson goes back deep to receive for Auburn. Donaldson standing at about his 31. Another very high kick for Moore, and deep. And Donaldson makes the fair catch at the 22-yard line. So, with 17 seconds remaining in the quarter, it's a 46-yard punt for Moore. No return, and Auburn will start the offense from, call it, the 22-yard line.
Jim, let me take you back one play. Alabama's got 3rd and 3, I guess it is. 3rd and short. They try to run a pick with their tight end. They send cross out by Whitehurst. The 2 receivers, instead of picking off the defensive back, ran into each other. Dunn had nothing to do but tuck it away. Unforced error by Alabama.
Donaldson gets away and gets out near the 35-yard line. Willie Wyatt, reacting all the way over from his nose tackle position, makes the play for Alabama. But it's a 13-yard gain and a first down for Auburn. You see Donaldson coming to the sideline for an equipment adjustment as Freddie Wagand goes into the game to replace him. First time that number 14, Wagand, has been on the field. And what a player he might have been this year had it not been for a shoulder separation.
Outstanding receiver. Duke Donaldson is only 5'10", 165.
And that's the end of the first quarter in a scoreless football game between Alabama and Auburn. College football on CBS Sports will return after this message and a word from your local station.
Dear Pop, I know how anxious you must be to get this letter, but I think you'll find it was worth the wait. As you can see, he's got your eyes, your smile, even your stubborn chin. So we thought he should also have your name. Say hello to Jonathan Jr. Merry Christmas, Pop. We're coming home.
Christmas and Kodak. Presenting a turning point in the history of screwdriving. The Black & Decker cordless screwdriver. A screwdriver so powerful it can drive 100 screws on a single charge. Any less, and it wouldn't be the Black & Decker cordless screwdriver.
The Great American Face. Strong, sensitive. The Great American Razor. Atra Plus. Solid. With the Lubra Smooth Strip for extra protection. The Great American Face deserves the Great American Shave. Atra Plus. Only from Gillette. Ponchatoula, Louisiana. Bayou country. Places like this make you glad you take your car to Mr. Goodwrench, the GM service specialist. Mr. Goodwrench uses genuine General Motors parts, the kind your car was designed to use. Because Mr. Goodwrench knows in places like this, the last thing you need to worry about is your car. Mr. Goodwrench, no one knows your GM car better. No one.
This is CBS.
This isn't a commercial for a fishing boat, or a rod and reel, or an airline that can take you here. It's a commercial for a bank that can get you here.
Would you believe Eurocard's worth $2,500 trade-in, whether it'll run or not at Eastwood Ford? It is when you buy a new Ranger. $2,500 guaranteed trade-in. Or buy a new Escort and get $2,000 guaranteed trade-in. Guaranteed on anything you can push, pull, or drag in. The best car buys in Birmingham are at Eastwood Ford today.
That's incredible.
No, that's Eastwood Ford.
He's in the Birmingham and Eastwood Ford.
2 miles east of Eastwood Mall on Highway 78.
WBMG, Birmingham 42, in stereo.
It's a cloudy day in Birmingham, Alabama, and the lights are on in Legion Field for the 52nd renewal of the rivalry between Alabama and Auburn. Legion Field has been the home to this game ever since the rivalry was resumed after a 40-year hiatus in 1948. Auburn starts with the football to begin the second quarter. First down at its 35-yard line. Berger throws to Reggie Ware, and he's got a lot of room. Across midfield to the 48-yard line of Alabama. Robert Stewart, inside linebacker, reacted back to make the stop for the Tide, but it was an 18-yard gain for Berger and Auburn.
I want you to watch Derek Thomas. He's in the middle. You can see him right to the right of your screen working on number 76. Just pushes him right back into Berger. Berger still is very disciplined, poised, controlled, waits, and then sets up this underneath little pattern, a little screen back here perfectly.
On first down from the 38, Stacy Danley is rocked. And the man who got up underneath him was defensive end Tommy Cole, junior from Jasper, Alabama. No gain on the play. I mentioned that Legion Field has been home to this game for 40 years. Auburn administrators would like to see the game played in the loveliest village on the plains down in Auburn in 1989.
That little dispute is going to be settled by lawyers. I can guarantee you that.
On 2nd and 10, Berger looks downfield, and the ball is dropped and goes out of bounds, so it is called a completed pass to Walter Reeves, the tight end. A gain of about 2 yards, and it rolled out of bounds. A piece of good fortune for Auburn. Greg Gilbert made the stop for Alabama.
It's one of those points, Jim. We talked about Alabama's plus 17 in the giveaway-takeaway ratio. That means they force 2 turnovers a game that they get and then go to the offense. That time the ball was loose. That's what they wanted, but there was no pursuit there to pick it up.
It is third down now as Berger looks downfield. Complete to Donaldson. He is dropped short of the first down. Hermit Kendrick, the free safety, had coverage and the strong tackle against Donaldson.
All right, now what do you do, Coach? Do you go for it or do you kick?
On 4th and 2, I punt again. And Pat Dye agrees with me.
See, you're playing the odds.
Hey, I'm conservative. In a field position game, I play for good field position. That's what Auburn is doing right here. Schulman aiming for the sideline. Jelks lets it go. The ball bounces back to midfield and is down at the 7-yard line. So Pat Dye gets out of that exactly what he wanted. Alabama, with freshman quarterback Jeff Dunn, will start at its own 7 when we come back.
Who will capture the Heisman? Find out next Saturday on CBS Sports.
When the sun goes down, gonna light up the night. Silver label, red ribbon, I think that's right. Gonna light up the night. Nickel lights. Gonna light up the night. Wait for it. Light up the night. Wait for it. Light up the night. My nickel lights. It's good. It's too good. It's tuna good. It's a tuna steak sandwich at Chili's. And it's tuna good to be true. Chili's new tuna steak sandwich.
charbroiled and served with lettuce, tomato, and special dressing on a sourdough bun. It's the tuna steak sandwich at Chili's, I'm telling you. And it's tuna good to be true.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Wait, Mom, everybody wants to say goodbye. My family loves this cordless phone from Radio Shack. I got it on sale for just $69.95. I saved $30. It's really convenient. With no cord in the way, and you can dial out or answer from anywhere in the house. Even redial a last number called with one touch. Okay, Merry Christmas, Mom. Oh, and thanks for the tie.
The ET395 cordless phone, sale price for Christmas, only at Radio Shack.
We got 13:06 before halftime at Legion Field, and before Alabama starts with the ball, let's go down to James Brown.
All right, Jim, you're looking at the projects just across the street from Legion Field where Bobby Humphrey, the great running back from Alabama, grew up, and it's always been a dream of his to play for Alabama here in Legion Field. As a matter of fact, as a high school student, he sold soft drinks in this stadium to get a better view of the players he wanted to be like. And you can bet that the Alabama staff is scouring the stands for other players with dreams and talent like Bobby Humphrey. Let's go back to Jim.
Jim, he's now living his dream, and with the career he's had, one more year, he'll be able to buy the Coke concession. He can buy it
if he stays healthy. They move the ball out to the 9-yard line on the spot. And Jeff Dunn pitches to Bobby Humphrey. No, check it. To Kerry Good, as Humphrey, as you saw, was on the sideline. Good back in the ball game, has a pickup of 4 before Craig Ogletree makes the stop for Auburn. In both previous situations where the Crimson Tide has been pinned deep to start the offense, they have been able to get first downs on the ground. Wright and Good are the setbacks behind Dunn on 2nd and 6. And breaking up through the middle this time is Wright. Carlo Chim makes the stop, but for the 3rd consecutive time, starting in the shadow of its goalpost, Alabama is able to get a field position saving first down on the ground.
There's a guy, Bo Wright. He was an inside linebacker his first year, Jim. Then they moved him to tailback, finally fullback. He just keeps getting bigger and stronger. He's a good blocker. That was a quick opener. Good blocking up front. They ran the linebackers out in the Auburn defense.
So now the ball is at the 24-yard line. Good again. Gets it across the 25 to about the 27. Edward Phillips made the stop. It will do a lot for the confidence of the younger Alabama team if they are able to run inside consistently against Auburn.
You know, the only thing that surprises me thus far is how conservative or straightforward Alabama's been offensively. Now, this is a team which has been very successful doing things with mirrors. I mean, a lot of deception, multiple offense, reverses, running passes, but they're just up there, and the rules of this game are straight ahead, no fair dodging.
Well, maybe they'll do that when they get to the other side of the field. On 2nd down and 8, Dunn whirls and keeps it. And is able to wade across the 35 to about the 37. Didn't look very pretty running with the football, but he got 11 yards and a first down.
Kirk Crane is the guy we've been talking about right here, number 39. Now watch the block on him that frees him up. An outstanding block made by Andy Anderson. And then Dunn just takes it up. He almost, or could have pitched back to Good there.
Let's not ask for the moon. We have the stars. Ball's at the 37.
You're still being conservative.
Yes, I am. With a freshman quarterback, I think I will be all day. Humphrey back in the game. Is hit, but able to rock forward for about 3 yards. Edward Phillips made the stop.
You're telling me we're not dealing with a Jamel Holloway here?
No, we're not. We're not dealing with a Charles Thompson. We're not dealing with a Jamel Holloway. We're dealing with somebody who has to be treated fairly carefully, I think.
I'll tell you, he's impressive, though. You know, most freshmen don't know if that ball is stuffed or pumped. This guy came in. He's very mature. He's reading defenses pretty well. He's been fairly composed.
What he hasn't been able to do through the second half of the season is give Alabama a consistent passing attack. They were able to beat LSU without it. Good throw to Whitehurst and drop. Bad break. And you see Dunn clapping his hands. Okay, Clay, forget about it. You're the senior. I'm the freshman. We'll be okay anyway.
I'll tell you what, that play was set up nicely. They had the All the play action going to the left side. He ran a little waggle to the right side. Whitehurst came free in the flat. Put the ball right there. You're right. He's a heck of an athlete, this kid. You know, he batted .304 on the baseball team. Hey, anybody from Greensboro, North Carolina, Tim. Third down, 7 yards to go. Dunn drops straight back. Good throw. And the first down into Auburn territory at the 45-yard line. Marco Battle on the receiving end. We've got 10 minutes and 4 seconds remaining before halftime at Legion Field. I'm Jim Lafley with Tim Brandt. In a scoreless game between Auburn and Alabama, it has been Alabama which has been most successful moving the football so far. And right now, after a 15-yard gain on a pass from Dunn to Marco Battle, the Crimson Tide have a first down at the Auburn 45. That is Battle in motion. And this is the All-America running back, Bobby Humphrey, and Humphrey, who is off to a big start, has a pickup of about 3 before Crane and Riggins made the stop for Auburn.
Alabama's offensive line right now is firing out. They're controlling that line of scrimmage. You're talking about guys like Jeff Bentley and Larry Rose, Roger Schultz and Mike Zuga in the middle, Bill Condon, Chapman. These guys are firing out and trying to take control of that line of scrimmage right now.
Second down, 7 yards to go. And with the football at 46, Doug Allen, the senior fullback from Canton, Florida. Ron Stallworth made the stop for Auburn. So Alabama will face a third down in a game of field position so far. Alabama more successful moving the ball largely on the legwork of Humphrey. The two teams traded interceptions. At one critical juncture, Alabama tried for a first down on 4th and short at the Auburn 47. Didn't get it, but Auburn wasn't able to take advantage of that field position edge. On third down here, Humphrey has the football and pounds forward toward the chain, but I think he's going to be short again. They needed to get it to the 40.
Look where the mark is. See the official at the top of your screen? He's got his foot right about the stomach of Bobby Humphrey. Quick opening trap play, though, was well developed.
Well, you get another shot. 4th and 1. This time the ball is at the 36.
Watch Andre Bruce, 93. Again, he's coming from the outside, comes down the line of scrimmage, gets there. He saves the first down for Auburn.
And there's a look at Bruce. He played sensational games against Georgia Tech, a game he won single-handedly, in the words of Pat Dye. Also against Florida. Bill Curry wants to think about what to do now on 4th down and a yard. We'll be back.
We're not a company, but we'll give you a chance to work where there's always a challenge. We'll give you opportunities to learn, to develop, to perfect skills that you thought were beyond your reach. We'll help you build a career that can reward you for the rest of your life. We're not a company, we're your country. We're the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
I'm State Farm Agent Jim Cornwell. When I first insured John and Susan Rager, I told them my job was just beginning. Now there's a new car in the family, a new home, and a new Rager, John Lawton. We just got together for a family insurance checkup. That's State Farm's way of helping you keep up with all your changing insurance needs. Because if you're anything like the Ragers, things can change pretty fast.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Listen to the heartbeat of America. This is our road, nothing stands in the way. This truck, this man, the worker play.
When you're ready for a 5-speed and more standard horsepower than Ford Ranger, we've got your truck. Chevy S10. More power to make your heart beat.
The heartbeat of America. Chevy S10. Today's Chevy truck.
We bring you back to Legion Field with 7:56 to go in the first half of a scoreless game. And you can see here that Bill Curry called his entire offensive unit to the sideline during that timeout. There was not a white shirt out on the field, as Curry, after having missed on a 4th and 1 earlier in the game, now elects to try for a 53-yard field goal.
Philip Doyle will be the kicker, 13 of 19 on the year, 1 of 4 from outside 50 yards. Abney gets the hold down. Doyle's kick is no good. Hit the left upright and went down. So make Doyle 1 of 5 from outside 50 yards. And we'll take a look at how country boy Pat Dye reacted to that. A near miss. Kurt Crane, number 39, coming back out onto the field to greet the defenders as they came off. And now the Auburn offense will start from its 36-yard line. And again, a reversal for Alabama and a field position edge for Auburn.
Alabama shows blitz. Here they come now. Backside.
Gilbert and 57 Randy Rockwell. First sack of the game for the Crimson Tide against Berger, and that was a big imperative for Alabama coming in.
Boy, they were loading up too. Look at the left hand of your screen. Here comes 56 and Gilbert just fights through a block. Then there's pressure coming from the front side as well. There was no secret about what they were doing. They showed man defense. That means here comes Rockwell, 57. Gilbert comes from the other side, 56. Just fought through their blocks, showed blitz all the way and came and capitalized.
A big loss of 11 yards. It's 2nd and 21 as Berger now throws complete underneath to Walter Reeves, but a very short gain, and it will be 3rd and a long way for Auburn.
Jim, Alabama is mixing up its defenses very well right now. They went to that man, brought the blitz. That time, they went back to a 2-deep zone, so they looked like they were taking away the deep side, the deep stuff, the deep middle for Berger when he came up to read it. So he went underneath, and of course they had that covered with the linebacker.
And Berger, carefully tutored by 1971 Auburn Heisman Trophy winner Pat Sullivan for read defenses, has not read well so far today. This time he gets the screen off, and they are well short of the first down. In fact, a gain of only a yard with Stacy Danley on the receiving end, and the Alabama defense comes up with a big series.
Well, I tell you what, though. First, it was Gilbert was there, and Willie Shepard came and filled. They got out to the flats quickly.
Shulman goes back and stands inside his 15-yard line. Jelks deep for Auburn, or deep for Alabama, I should say. A lot of people coming. Derek Thomas with the block. Ball goes out of bounds, and Alabama will have it at the Auburn 10-yard line. The shadow of Cornelius Bennett, one of the best outside linebackers ever to play college football. But Derek Thomas's statistics as a defender are better even than those of Bennett.
15 sacks. He had a block punt last year. Here he comes now. Just lays out completely. Left side of your screen. There he is. Didn't even have to lay out. He's that quick. He got up. The ball actually hit him in the chest. And then he's quick enough to regain his balance and go get it and take it out of bounds, Jim.
What a player. 1st and goal for Alabama. Humphrey and Wright. This is Wright. Pounding down to the 5-yard line. Edward Phillips made the stop for Auburn.
A 4-yard gain on the play. 2nd and goal.
Well, we talked about him at the beginning of the ball game. He is an impact player. He may not be the most dominating linebacker in the game, but he's an impact player. He's got great speed.
What a year for linebackers in college football.
Outstanding year.
Can you remember a year when there were more great linebackers in the sport?
No, you know I can't. Especially in that outside position.
Good comes in motion. Blockers in front of Humphrey is closed up quickly by Auburn. Kurt Crane was the man who filled the hole at about the 4, and now a big 3rd down decision for Curry and Alabama.
Right now, I'd go to a play action. Put some pressure on the corners. At least that way you've got the option to run it or pass it. Run first, pass if he's open. But at least put the pressure on the corners.
Bo Wright brings the play in from the Alabama sideline. Auburn shifting to the bottom side of your screen. Good goes in motion to the top. That's where Alabama goes. Humphrey
Humphrey is dropped at about the 1. Number 35, Carlo Cheatham, was the first man up to slow Humphrey down. Kevin Porter got his face in Humphrey's chest and rode him down. Another big decision for Curry. The ball is right at the 1-yard line. Double tight end for Alabama. No kicking unit coming onto the field. They're going to go.
They also brought in Doug Allen at fullback. He's the better blocker of the two fullbacks. 46. Got them both in. They've got Allen and Wright in there, both fullbacks.
Done. Too high. It was Kurt Crane, number 39, who got up in Dunn's face and forced him to release. There was no open receiver.
There was nobody fooled for Auburn either. High C, Howard Cross got out there in the end zone, and he was just surrounded.
So Auburn dodges a bullet. 4 minutes, 6 seconds left before halftime. We'll be back.
Dreaming the dreams of America.
GMAC makes financing or leasing the new GM car or truck of your dreams easy. Just see your General Motors dealer. We'll help your dream come true.
The dreams of America. GMAC. We're making your dreams come true. The dreams of America. GMAC.
Official sponsor of America's Dreams.
Light up the night. When the sun goes down, gonna light up the night. Silver label, red ribbon, a taste that's right. Gonna light up the night. Michelob Light. Gonna light up the night. Gonna light up the night. Gonna light up the night. My Michelob Light.
USA.
If you had all the experience of yesterday, with all the skill and innovation of today, you couldn't lose. Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Carry the caring card.
We're still scoreless in Birmingham after this big turn of events a moment ago.
Here are the two guys that are key, Jim. This is Kurt Crane. Over here is Goff. They're going to apply some pressure. Now, Alabama shows all the motion this way. It's a little waggle, and then all of a sudden the quarterback, Dunn's going to come out, and he's going to roll and look for his tight end, who's right here. That's Cross. But Cross stumbles coming out, never gets clear back here, and by the time Dunn is free to throw it, of course, everything's covered. See the motion now come to the left? Now, here comes the pressure from 98. That's Goff. Goff was taken out nicely. But look at Cross at the bottom of your screen, 85. He's surrounded. And the ball was thrown high. Good coverage down there by Kevin Porter. He's the best defensive back they've got, number 3.
So Alabama failed to score after the blocked punt. But the trouble isn't all over for Auburn, which now starts the offense at its own 1-yard line. Flag down, and the Alabama players are saying that they were induced.
Dead ball foul is a false start on the offense. Still first down.
The referee is Al Ford. They moved the ball half the distance, so now it's inside the 1. Reggie Ware gets about a yard. Just a little bit of breathing room for Berger. Berger is 7 of 10 throwing in the game, but has not been able to go downfield. And in all likelihood won't try it here.
The entire Alabama defense now looking over for the defensive signals. They better get them quickly because Auburn's already at the line of scrimmage.
The man with the football was Harry Mose, number 25, freshman from Lake Wales, and
He got only a couple. Quickly, let's take a look at what's coming up in the NFL this Sunday. Two of the league's most intense rivalries. Most of you will see the Packers meet the Bears. Then the Giants take on the Redskins in the second half of the doubleheader. Some of you will see Tampa Bay against the Los Angeles Rams. And it all starts, of course, with the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern Time. That's Sunday on CBS Sports. Third down for Auburn. Berger in his end zone. Good release. The catch by Danley, the ball at the 12-yard line, and a first down for Auburn. Big play by Berger, and an equally big play by the freshman running back Stacy Danley.
I'll tell you what made that play work, Jim. The lineman for Auburn that time came out, took wide splits. The wide receivers went way outside, and what they did by doing that was string out and soften up the defense. Look at the wide splits here by the linemen. That's not what they did just moments ago. Now the receivers are split out 20 yards, which spreads out the defense and lets things open up for Berger.
And they brought the chain all the way across the field to measure. I'm not entirely certain why. It was clear that the ball had been marked out at the 12, and that was an easy first down for Auburn. So Berger is now 8 of 11 in the game, and that was the best throw he's made. Little draw play action this time, and Danley is met and dropped after a very short gain. Derek Thomas again with the hit for Alabama.
He's been active, hasn't he, Derek Thomas?
Junior out of Miami, Florida. When he was a freshman, you could see the amazing talent, but he was a little bit overeager then. Just as capable of coming up with the big roughing the passer penalty or the big offside penalty as he was of coming up with the big play.
That's what I was talking about earlier. You know, they really had to get him to settle down, be more disciplined, stay at home.
Berger wants to go downfield deep, and Lawyer Tillman is there. The flag is down, and we'll have to wait to see if that's offensive interference, but I think it probably was a push by Gene Jelks.
It's the mismatch we were talking about earlier. Gene Jelks, 5'11", Lawyer Tillman, 6'4". There is a flag, and if anything, it's going to be against Gene Jelks. He was just trying to hold on, maybe even face guarding. I can't tell, but it is going to be against Jelks.
Lawyer Tillman has been double-teamed all year, but he's done his damage anyway.
Play action. Berger looks right the whole time. Didn't look off at all. But see, look at Jelks, 22. He's looking all the time at Lawyer Tillman. Never looked back for the ball. You're Jeff Berger, the quarterback. This is what it looks like now. Ground level. Little play action. And he locks on his receiver, Tillman, right away. And puts it high and lets the 6'4 receiver run under it because he knows Jelks is only 5'11. Plus the fact Jelks was beaten.
And the call is a personal foul against Jelks. So 15 yards are added to the catch. And that moves the ball all the way to the Alabama 26-yard line. So you have the 44-yard pass from Berger to Tillman. Then the 15-yard penalty. Altogether, Auburn goes 59 yards on the play, and now they're in business at the Tide 26. Danley. Drop. Pickup of only about a yard. Derek Thomas again, there to get underneath Danley.
Can't do that. If you're beating on a play, you're beating on a play. You got to put it in your back pocket and forget about it. But you can't get carried away and get another 15 yards tagged onto it for personal foul. You've got to contain yourself. You've got to show some class out there. That just hurts your ball club.
It's got to be awfully frustrating for a superb athlete like Jelks to stay with Tillman and just not be able to stop him from making the catch. And now Alabama wants a timeout for the defense to collect itself. So with second down 9 for Auburn, the ball at the Alabama 25, scoreless game, we'll be back.
You know, the other day my MCI rep called me up. Says he'd like to stop by with some new ideas. I think my long distance gets complicated again. Then he shows me how I've outgrown my current MCI service. And with a couple of changes, I can have more efficient, more economical long distance. I couldn't believe it. This MCI guy called me up to lower the bill.
Until you call, you'll never know how much better a long-distance company can be. MCI. Let us show you.
The right parts,
Mr. Goodwrench has the right parts. Engineered for your GM car by people who designed your GM car. Mr. Goodwrench. No one knows your GM car better. No one.
Wait till you see the changes we're making at Howard Johnson.
This is Howard Johnson?
This is Howard Johnson?
This is Howard Johnson?
This is Howard Johnson.
Last year, the Giants knocked out the Redskins. Now the first place Skins are out for revenge. Sunday on CBS Sports.
As we bring you back to Legion Field, we've got 1 minute and 25 seconds left before halftime in a scoreless game. I'm Jim Lampley with Tim Brandt. And Tim, it's been such a war of nerves so far that every play between now and the end of the half is going to be magnified in importance.
Absolutely, and every mistake is magnified, like the one Jelks just made. You know, he just lost his composure for a second, but that's the mismatch that we were talking about. That's what they want to do. They want to get Tillman out there, and Alabama's been blitzing. When you blitz, you have to go man-to-man.
And Tillman had been quiet up to that point. He, like Derek Thomas, though, is a big play player who can break up a game like this. And there's Derek Thomas again. Dumping Berger beyond the 35-yard line with a flag already down.
And I can tell you what it is. Wait till you see the way Thomas came through there. They had to hold him. They had to hold him to keep him out of there. See, that's what Thomas is saying. He's looking over at the defense and saying, hey, coach, come on, it's holding. They were keeping me out of there. So now, just as quickly as they walk yardage off against Alabama, now they'll move Auburn back.
With another year still to go in his career, he's already got more sacks than Cornelius Bennett had. In fact, he had as many sacks this year as Bennett had in his whole career.
Can you imagine coming into this game with 15 sacks?
Well, you can make it 17 now.
That's right. Well, they're talking a long time down here. Maybe it's not as clear-cut as we thought, or I thought.
Oh, I was agreeing with you. You can say we. This man's face never changes, you know. His does.
Look at that. Pat Dye. Boy, he's had some great success. East Carolina, Wyoming. I don't think he's ever been as home or felt his home as much as he does at Auburn.
We had holding against the offense. It was a live ball foul and it declined. We had a dead ball foul, personal foul against Alabama. It's a first down.
All right, Derek Thomas now. They've been moving him all around. See him right here, 55. Now watch this. He's already by. They try to give him a rip move. The right arm is all around him. Boy, I think, see, Stacey Danley just let him go.
Now, where's the personal foul? That's it. The late hit right there. The personal foul against Brown. Now, that's the second personal foul in 3 plays against Alabama. It has given Auburn a first down on a play on which Berger was sacked for a 12-yard loss. That's got to drive Bill Curry mildly crazy at this point. Danley breaks through a hole and is down to the 5-yard line. Jelks and Kendrick made the touchdown-saving tackle, but Auburn will have first and goal.
Well, I tell you, Danley's made a difference in this running game. 20 carries, team high 73 yards against Georgia. Brings it back to the right side, gets inside the contained man. Now it's, see this, he wants to take him on one-on-one. Doesn't want to make any more cuts. Goes right after Jelks and the safety and takes him on, butts his head rather than making a cut to the right or the left.
And now Curry calls for another timeout and brings the whole defense over. In the meantime, let's take a look at these 2 fine schools.
With the grades you have, with the honors you have, you can go anywhere.
I was there. I saw what they were doing, and I want to be a part of it.
I just want you to be the greatest.
Dad, they want me. And I want them.
You can go anywhere.
Trust me.
I do.
I just want to make you proud of me.
For a large university with a diversity of majors and curricula, that Auburn tends to still be a school where close relationships are possible. You start off with students who are intellectually good and intellectually curious. And yet it's human enough and warm enough and personal enough so that students who want help and seek help get help. And that's just very unusual.
Pat Dye talks to Pat Sullivan with 58 seconds remaining in the second quarter. At the conclusion of today's CBS Sports College Football broadcast, we'll select a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. Chevrolet will donate a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of each of the two schools whom you just saw profiled moments ago. Meanwhile, we've got 58 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And as Pat Dye confers with Sullivan, Auburn has first down, goal to go at the 5-yard line. Harry Mose, touchdown. Win Lyle's extra point kick is good. Auburn has a 7-0 lead with just 52 seconds remaining in the half. The Tigers capped off a 99-yard drive, fueled by a 44-yard escape pass from Berger to Tillman and 2 personal foul calls against Alabama. And in the offseason, a lot of attention was paid to the recruitment of a high school running back in Florida named Emmitt Smith, who went to the University of Florida, choosing the Gators over Auburn. But Auburn people said, well, it's okay. We got a better one in Harry Mose out of Lakeland.
Watch how he gets out to the corner now. See that? Great block on the corner. Alabama lost containment, and he just took it outside.
I said Lakeland, make that Lake Wales, Florida. That's where Mose is from, down the middle of the state. Smith, of course, whom you've seen, was from up at Pensacola Escambia High School. Auburn wanted him, and they wanted Mose, and you saw why on that play. So now, Chris Knapp, number 8, will kick it away for Auburn, and deep for Bill Curry's Alabama Crimson Tide are Kerry Good and Bobby Humphrey. You saw them standing moments ago near their goal line.
It's ironic, isn't it, that Harry Mose is only 18 years old, a true freshman. This time last year, he was playing in a high school stadium against his rival in Lake Wales. Now he's here on national television in front of 76,000, Legion Field, scores the first touchdown. That's a little unnerving, but he looked bold on that run.
With the short approach, kicks it high and short. And this is Humphrey. And Humphrey's got some room to make a big play. Finally stopped at the 37-yard line. He was just one step away from getting outside on the right, and he might have gone a long way. Domingo Anderson, a sophomore safety man from Warner Robins, Georgia, made the saving tackle for Auburn. Curry talks to the official on the sideline, no doubt pointing out an uncalled penalty.
I'm not saying be conservative here, but I'm telling you, 44 seconds left is critical time. Alabama cannot afford to make a mistake here.
Well, their composure has cracked just a little bit in the last 2 minutes. Those 2 personal foul calls were extremely damaging. On first down, Curry does remain conservative as the fullback Doug Allen gets about 5 up the middle. Clock is being allowed to run. Let's quickly go down to James Brown.
All right, Jim, coming up for you on the Prudential College Football Report at halftime, we'll take a look at the regional voting in the Heisman Trophy Award to be announced next week right here on CBS. We'll also have a profile and courage on Bob Waters and some late news on Earl Bruce, the fired coach at Ohio State. Back to you, Jim.
Looking forward to that, James. Second down 3. And Alabama again gives to the fullback inside, and a few boos are heard in Legion Field. Nate Hill made the tackle. Pat Dye turns and walks to the locker room. And the countenance of Bill Curry remains calm and consistent.
Yeah, but he's saying, hey, where's Auburn going? We're still playing. We got 4 seconds left. There's timeout. We called it. And Auburn's halfway to the locker room.
Remember college football tomorrow on CBS Sports, Florida State versus Florida, and you'll see Emmitt Smith in that game. If you haven't seen him yet, you're going to want to check it out. Notre Dame against Miami. It begins at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, and of course, this is the first time that the Fighting Irish have played against the Hurricanes since the debacle of 2 years ago in the Orange Bowl, when the Hurricanes mashed Notre Dame in Jerry Faust's last game.
And there were some that thought Jimmy Johnson ran the score up. But
No.
you know, Lou Holtz was not there. That was Jerry Faust, as you mentioned. And Lou Holtz comes in. Lou Holtz is an outstanding coach. I'm not sure that's going to be the predominant thing on their mind as they come in. This is just a well-schooled, fundamentally sound Notre Dame football team. They're going to do just what they do best.
Well, there'll be a lot of players who played in that game returning to the field. The Notre Dame players remembering ruefully how badly they were beaten. Miami players remembering, perhaps with too much comfort, how easy it was to beat Notre Dame. 4 seconds left in the half. Spread formation for Alabama. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. Dunn drops back. Kurt Crane. Humphrey with the tackle.
Pretty good lick by Humphrey, too.
And that's the end of the first half. With the score, Auburn 7, Alabama nothing. James Brown will be back with the College Football Report after this message and a word from your local station.
How does the advanced new Chevy half-ton stand up to Ford? Chevy gives you more standard power than Ford, more cab room, more shoulder room, more two-sided galvanized steel, new 2-tier loading, and a bigger, heavier frame. So how does Ford stand up to the first all-new full-size pickup introduced in this decade?
Not very well.
The heartbeat of America.
Test drive it.
That's today's Chevy truck. After 6 hours of school, I had enough for the day. I hit the radio dial.
With the designed-in sound of a Delco Electronics music system, now the best seat in the house is in your GM car. Delco Electronics. It's who we are.
With Eckert System 2 photo processing, you always get 2 sets of great-looking prints.
Richard, where are those photos?
Here, boss.
Great photos.
1 set to give and 1 to keep. Prints so well processed by Eckert's own lab, they've been awarded the Kodak Color Watch seal. So when you want an extra set of bright, vivid prints,
Richard, you finally did something right.
for whatever reason, get them with Eckert System 2. Nothing looks better.
This is CBS.
When buying an automobile, you look for a dealer that is reputable, dependable, and has a good service and sales staff. They must also carry a large and varied quality inventory with reasonable prices. This dealer must stand behind each car it sells. At East Lake Auto Sales, we have all of this and much, much more. Satisfying the customer is our most important goal. That's why we've sold over 15,000 cars in the last 10 years at East Lake Auto Sales, where we sell to sell again.
I'm convinced the only place to shop this weekend is Walmart.
Hi, we're back again to tell you more about Walmart's great prices.
I take a lot of pictures during the holidays.
So do I.
Gosh, this price on Scotch film is terrific. Twin packs of 135 or 110 24 exposure rolls are just $3.96.
These disc twin packs are just $3.26. These are great values, and you know Scotch makes great film.
More proof why Walmart is the only place to shop this weekend. Stay tuned.
We'll be back.
As time goes on, skills that were once in demand are becoming obsolete, making opportunities in once vital industries rare and difficult. Consider electronics. RETS can train you in this fast-growing field of high technology, circuitry, and advanced computers. And RETS has an amazing record of giving its graduates a head start on the competition. Call us now to reserve your place in the next class.
2517962.
RETS.
WBMG, Birmingham 42, in stereo.
The Prudential College Football Report is sponsored by The Prudential. Your Prudential representative goes above and beyond to meet your needs in insurance and other financial services. The Prudential, your rock in financial services.
It's halftime here at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, where Auburn is nursing a 1-touchdown lead over Alabama 7-0. And hello, everyone. I'm James Brown, and welcome to the Prudential College Football Report. Coming your way on today's program, we'll have the results of a regional vote on who will win the Heisman Trophy next week right here on CBS. We'll also have a profile in courage, the story of Bob Waters, the head coach at Western Carolina, who's battling the disease, Lou Gehrig. And we'll also, of course, take a look at what's going to happen in tomorrow's big game between Notre Dame and Miami. Now, of course, Notre Dame is all set to play in the Cotton Bowl here on New Year's Day, but what became perfectly clear last night was just who their opponent would be and placing them on the New Year's Day Bowl. The Longhorns and Aggies fought for the honor in front of 78,000 at A&M's Kyle Field. Second quarter action, A&M trails 3-0 when senior Keith Woodside takes the pitch from quarterback Craig Stump and scampers 90 yards to pay dirt to give the Aggies the lead. But A&M's excitement would be short-lived as Longhorn running back Eric Metcalf answered right back just moments later with his own 50-yard touchdown run. That put Texas ahead 10-7. In the fourth quarter, tied at 13 apiece, freshman quarterback Bucky Richardson, in for injured Craig Stump, scores on a 7-yard run, and the Aggies and Jackie Sherrill celebrate a 20-13 win over arch rival Texas. And then they all heard the magic words from Cotton Bowl president Dan Petty.
We want to congratulate you and your staff and this group of players for a fine season and a fine game. We want to congratulate you for that. And I just have one question to ask you, and that is, would you like to represent the Southwest Conference against Notre Dame on January 1?
Now, in case you didn't understand that, the translation was, yes, sir, we kindly accept your invitation. Now, there's some late-breaking news on the college football scene, and it concerns Earl Bruce, the fired coach at Ohio State. Of course, he had 2 years remaining on his contract, and he had sued the university for $7.4 million. Well, he settled that suit today for just shy of $500,000, $471,000 he will collect. And when we return back to the Prudential College Football Report from here in Legion Field, we'll give you a preview of tomorrow's big matchup between Notre Dame and Miami, and whether or not some of those Notre Dame players have revenge on their mind. That and more coming your way in just a few moments.
If you can dream it, you can do it. Today, the Prudential can show you a new world of financial opportunities. Look to the Rock for mutual funds, stocks, and bonds. Feel its strength in CDs, insurance, and mortgages. With the right choices, the right guidance, the sky's the limit. The Prudential, your rock in financial services.
We go above and beyond just like you. Above and beyond what we have to do. Investing in what's right for you.
Your Prudential representative helps your money work hard with CDs, mutual funds, and more.
You work hard, so do we. To make what you work for a reality. From us, from Prudential, above and beyond.
And welcome back to halftime here in Birmingham, Alabama, where the Tigers lead the Crimson Tide by the score of 7-0. And welcome back, everyone. Now, of course, with the college football season drawing to a close, the question on most people's mind is just who will win the Heisman Trophy Award. Now, the official results won't be known until next week right here on CBS Sports, but I couldn't wait that long and decided to conduct my own unofficial straw vote ballot here with the press gathered for today's Auburn Alabama game. The results not really surprising. Tim Brown of Notre Dame, the front runner by a huge margin. He collected 49% of that vote. In second place, he was kind of close there, as Gordy Lockbaum had 12%. He's in third place. In second place is the quarterback from Syracuse, Don McPherson. Bobby Humphrey from Alabama was in fourth place with only 6% of that vote. Now, it's not surprising to see Tim Brown leading the Heisman voting, and he'll get one more chance to impress the voters tomorrow in that big matchup with Miami.
If Brown wins, he'll be the first Notre Dame player to win the Heisman since John Hewitt in 1964. Brown's an offensive threat as a receiver and return specialist, scoring 3 touchdowns on punt returns.
To really appreciate Tim Brown, you got to watch him day after day, practice after practice, game after game, and there's never a time when you don't walk around saying, I can't believe he did that. He's really and truly the most remarkable athlete I've ever known.
There's no way I could be in this position now if it wasn't for my teammates, because, Coach Oates said from the beginning of the year that, hey, if you guys want Timmy Brown to win the Heisman Trophy, you have to go out and play the best football of your career.
The Miami Hurricanes won every game they played this season. They're undefeated just like last year when they took on Penn State for the national championship and lost. It was a heartbreaking loss for Jimmy Johnson's team, and the memories linger. But But if they can survive Notre Dame and South Carolina, they'll have a shot at the national title. For they've already accepted a bid to play #1 ranked Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl.
And I congratulate you and your coaches. It's a situation where we want to go into the Orange Bowl with a chance of playing for a national championship, and to do that, we've got to win our next 2 ball games.
The last time Miami and Notre Dame met was 2 years ago when the Hurricanes blew the Irish out in Jerry Faust's finale as head coach. Miami was accused of running up the score on downtrodden Notre Dame.
It has been mentioned to me more than once about Remember Miami over the past 2 years.
I know with Notre Dame and going for their 56th point against Navy this year, threw a screen pass to Brooks in the 4th quarter.
Coach Faust is gone, but hasn't forgotten.
I'll be rooting for Notre Dame because I recruited those young men. I have a son that goes to the University of Notre Dame, and Lou Holtz and I are very good friends, and he's doing an excellent job there, and I'm rooting for him to bring home a victory.
And you got to believe that Coach Jerry Faust wants Notre Dame to win that game in a very big way. And that game is just part of a big doubleheader Saturday of football we have for you here on CBS. For preceding that game will be Florida against Florida State. That game coming your way at noon Eastern time. Now, Bobby Bowden's, that is, Florida State Seminoles, have an outside shot at ending the season as the nation's #1 team, but they can ill afford to take the Gators lightly. Now, coming up next on the Prudential College Football Report, we'll take a special look at a very special man, Bob Waters, the head coach at Western Carolina University, in the battle for his life against Lou Gehrig's disease.
We go above and beyond just like you. Above and beyond what we have to do, ensuring the best in life for you.
When it comes to life insurance, nobody goes above and beyond like your Prudential representative.
You take pride in your life, so do we. Going above and beyond is our policy. The rock, the Prudential, above and beyond. We go above and beyond just like you. Above and beyond what we have to do, caring for what's special to you.
Only your Prudential representative goes above and beyond with a pre-review of your auto insurance.
We go above and beyond like you do, taking care to protect what's important to you. The rock, the Prudential, above and beyond.
And welcome back to the Prudential College Football Report. Last year, we introduced you to a very special man at Western Carolina University who's fighting a deadly disease called ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Having lost the use of both arms, head coach Bob Waters, his attitude and his outlook in the face of such a grim future are simply remarkable. Jim Nance returned to Western Carolina to update the story.
I want to be just like everybody else. I have grandchildren and all those kind of things. I don't want to think about anything different than your goals or anybody else that's 48 or 45 or 40 years old. I want to look forward to the future and the good things that can happen.
While Coach Waters may look the same a year later, this deadly disease continues to take its toll.
My breathing capacity is not what it was a year ago. It has decreased some, but hopefully not to any perilous point yet.
It's hard to know whether any patient with ALS, whether their condition is really stabilized. All we can say is that things are changing very, very slowly. And rather than look downstream where we're going to be 2 years or 5 years, we go one day at a time. And that's the amazing thing, that people have the courage to do it, and Coach Waters is one of these people who does.
Since we were at this spot a year ago, Bob Waters not only has proven skeptics wrong by continuing to coach the Catamounts, but the story of his courageous battle has spread from here in Cullowhee to all across the country.
In 1987, the media picked up on Coach Waters' plight. Magazine and newspaper stories heightened awareness about ALS, and on Labor Day, a visit with Jerry Lewis raised millions for research.
Well, if there is a bright side, hopefully we have created an awareness and attention to this disease that we just might bring about a cure, and hopefully it'll come soon enough to help the people who now have ALS.
Cure did not come soon enough to help two of Waters' 49er teammates. Many find it strange that within a year, ALS claimed the lives of Gary Lewis and Matt Hazeltine.
Certainly I was saddened that they had both died, and most people think it's just coincidence. I'm not sure I do. I'm not sure a lot of the medical people do.
While the medical minds battle with this baffling ailment, Bob Waters gamely carries on. And at his side, providing comfort throughout this ordeal, is his wife, Sherry.
As life goes along, you know that you have young friends that drop dead or are killed in automobile accidents and so forth. And if you didn't learn from that life is short and you better enjoy it, then, you know, you're never going to learn it. And certainly being faced with a deadly disease, we knew that it could happen to us, and we knew that we better enjoy it because this was it. It's come to an end.
Coach Waters' efforts are an inspiration to those around him.
Well, I saw the good times, and I'm seeing the bad. When I first got up here, he shook my hand. You see now he's not able to shake hands.
I had a cold one day, and I wasn't feeling like really getting after it and being a good coach that day. And I got to thinking, my goodness, the things that he goes through every day, I ought to be ashamed of myself. He told me he was going to try to be here my 4 years, and that proved to me that he was a battler, and he was going to do everything he can be here and lead Western Carolina to some wins. And that showed me I knew I wanted to play for him, play for a winner.
Coach, we've been here the last 2 years. I'll make a deal with you. You come back and coach in 1988. We'll come back and do another update on Bob Waters.
That sounds good, Jim. We'd like to have you back, and I plan to be here next fall.
You know, it does not do Coach Waters justice to call him a credit to just college football when he is simply an inspiration to every one of us. And to Coach Bob Waters and his family, and to you and yours, we thank you for watching us here at halftime. Enjoy the rest of the game and the entire holiday weekend.
The Prudential College Football Report has been sponsored by the Prudential. Your Prudential representative goes above and beyond to meet your needs in insurance and other financial services. The Prudential, your rock in financial services.
If you own a house, you gotta own a shop vac. This baby's got the power to pick up almost anything.
Got broken glass, nails, or wood chips. The shop vac gobbles up stuff that would kill an ordinary vacuum. And a shop vac wet dry can even vacuum water like a flooded basement. The washing machine is flooding the house.
Every house needs a shop vac. Starting at under $50, a shop vac is heavy duty, not heavy money. And remember, if it doesn't say shop vac, keep shopping.
Performance isn't just the total number of miles driven, but rather how your car performed when you drove each one of them. Give your car the good life with STP gas treatment.
Like a late-night TV dinner, Norma Jean and R&B. Like a rocket and a roller skate, and like catching up museums. I'm an American original, the first craft beer in a can. Have an iPhone Coors with a friend of yours.
Brewery fresh draft beer in bottles and cans. That's been Coors for over 25 years. Taste the original today.
Put a 12-ounce keg in your hand.
This is CBS.
It's something to cheer about. McRae's fantastic after Thanksgiving sale with savings throughout the store. Fabulous fall fashions from Liz Counterparts. Herman Geist, JH Collectibles, and other favorites at 1/3 to 1/2 off. Famous Arrow shirts, dress, and sports styles, $11.99. And the cable-ready Magnavox VCR, just $249.99. All this plus extra hours to save at McRae's after Thanksgiving sale.
If you need a loan, Jefferson Federal has money to lend. Picture this, a loan for home improvements. Or how about a loan for a new car or truck? Jefferson Federal has loans for boats and motors, or that dreamed about vacation. And yes, that all-important education. We have fixed-rate loans at simple interest. You pay interest only on the amount owed. See Jefferson Federal and put yourself in the picture. Jefferson Federal.
Acura.
For 88, the best gets better. When you're already #1 on the Customer Satisfaction Index for product quality and dealer service, how can you get even better? By offering even more for 88. For 88, the Legend sedan has a larger, more powerful 2.7-liter engine for even better performance. And it's now available with even more luxury features, like anti-lock braking, climate control, Bose stereo, 10-way power seat, trip computer, and a wide array of colors. Acura for 88. The best gets better at King Acura in Hoover.
WBMG, Birmingham 42, in stereo.
You're watching college football on CBS Sports. Alabama against Auburn. Jim Lampley and Tim Brandt will return with the second half action after these messages.
For more than 50 years, a distinguished football legacy second to none. Bowl victories, television appearances, All-American honors, national recognition. The Southeastern Conference, 10 universities for all America.
Former college basketball player Jim Martin.
Here at Auburn, we believe that athletics makes a person strong, that study makes a person wise, and that character makes a person great. These are the ideas that I found in the athletic program at Auburn when I arrived on a scholarship more than 30 years ago. And these are the principles and ideals that we incorporate in our athletic program today. These are the principles that have meant so much to me in my life.
The preceding brought to you by the College Football Association.
We are back live at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, where Auburn leads Alabama 7-0 on a touchdown scored in the final minute of play in the first half, set up by 2 personal foul calls against Alabama. Alabama held Auburn 20 yards rushing in the first half, Tim, but unfortunately 5 of them came on that touchdown play.
It was well executed, not only by the Auburn offense, but by Harry Mose. Let's take a look at that play, and we'll take you back now, and you'll see Harry Mose is right here, to the right of the screen. Well, my chalk isn't working here. All right, he's at the right of the screen, and you'll see a block. First of all, Anthony Smith, 94, comes through. There's a great move. Now you'll watch 84, the tight end Lee Mark Sellers, make a key block here. Not a big block, just enough to make the outside guy, Lee Osment, the rover, take the inside route and stay away from Harry Mose. He tap danced into the end zone. We got to work on the chalkboard here a little bit.
I wish our audience could have seen you with that magic wand there, frantically pressing it.
Oh, I was pushing it hard.
Harry Mose, no, Scott Bolton is deep for Alabama to take the kickoff for the second half. And you'll recall that at the beginning of the game, Auburn won the toss and deferred the decision until this point. So Auburn now receives the football, and Jeff Berger comes back on field to lead the Tigers as they start at their 24-yard line, leading 7-0.
Jim, at the beginning of the ball game, we talked about the success that Alabama had running the ball but unable to pass. Well, they've got 110 yards rushing offense. Auburn has not been able to run, but they've had success passing. Berger's got 96 yards in the air.
And Alabama was able to hold Lawyer Tillman to only 1 catch in the first half, but it was for 44 yards, followed by a personal foul, and it was a big one. Helped set up the touchdown. On first down here, Stacy Danley, one of the 2 freshman tailbacks who have been effective in limited bursts so far for Auburn, gets a few before Willie Wyatt, the nose tackle of Alabama, knocks him down. Call it a gain of 4. It will be 2nd down 6.
Let's keep an eye on that Alabama defense, see what they do, see how they mix things up now and try to put pressure on Berger.
Fullback Reggie Ware, close to a first down, and he may have it. Wyatt again making the tackle for Alabama. And I'm sure that part of the discussion at halftime for Auburn was aimed at trying to establish a little bit more consistent ground attack.
You're right. Now, Alabama came out in a 2-deep zone, and there was a nice play that time by Willie Wyatt, who had to fight off the block at the nose position and then almost lunged to make that tackle. It still wasn't in time.
So Auburn is able to establish a first down on the ground to begin the second half, something they couldn't easily do at the beginning. Duke Donaldson now on the little hitch, and a good tackle out there in the flat by number 59, George Bethune. Bethune replacing Rockwell to start the second half. Here's a summary of what's happened in the game. Auburn with 126 total yards, outgained by Alabama in the first half. Derek Thomas blocked a punt for Alabama and set the Tide up with 1st and goal at the 9, but Auburn stopped Alabama at the 1 and then went 99 yards on the strength of the 44-yard pass to Tillman, 2 big 15-yard penalties against Alabama. And here is Danley breaking into the secondary and fumbling the ball, and Alabama has it. If, in fact, they're going to be given credit for the recovery.
One official says yes.
That's usually all it takes, unless he can be talked out of it. The ball's at the 43-yard line of Alabama, and this is a very big discussion right now. Jelk's being pulled out of there. He created one of the personal foul calls in the first half when he kicked the ball. This time, Alabama gets a break.
They average 2 turnovers a game. We said at the outset they've got to get those turnovers today.
Danley upset. Osment, the strong safety, was the man who fell on it for Bama.
All right, now the ground can't cause a fumble in any league. You can see that it's loose. And Osment gets it right there. There's no question about it. The ball was out before he ever hit the ground.
Good call. First down, Bama at the 43-yard line. You saw Curry show more emotion than he did at any time in the first half. Dunn pitches to Humphrey, and Humphrey gets a few on the short side of the field. Alvin Briggs drove him out of bounds. Another look at Curry's reaction to the fumble recovery.
He's a competitor. We sat in his office. We talked at great length about this. He wants to get out there and play himself. And what a great player he was. Played in 3 Super Bowls. First with the Vince Lombardi coach Packers, and then with the Baltimore Colts.
Head coach at Georgia Tech for 7 years, during which time he was 0-7 against Auburn. Second down, Humphrey again. Gets outside. But then is dropped out of bounds on a good play by Carlo Cheatham, the free safety. Cheatham may be the only Auburn defender who could have gotten there quickly enough to close off the sideline on Humphrey.
You're exactly right about that. And the thing that got him there was the angle that he took. Instead of coming flat straight down the line, he gave himself a little cushion. Took a good pursuit angle where he could cut him off and then pushed him out of bounds.
So now it is 3rd down, 4 yards to go for Dunn and the Crimson Tide. Draw play is smelled out and stopped for a loss. Benji Rowland, the nose guard, stayed home all the way, and Humphrey had nowhere to go. So Alabama is unable to capitalize on the break. But if Moore can produce a good punt here, then the Tide may at least get a field position advantage out of the fumble. There are the numbers on Moore. Donaldson deep to receive for Auburn. Going to run it back. Flag down as Donaldson is dropped on a solid tackle at the 23-yard line. 35-yard punt. 6-yard return. Butch Lewis, number 61, was the man who made the hit. Kurt Crane comes out to listen to what the call might be. And the Alabama players were pointing toward the Auburn goal line.
Had a clip during the run back.
So with the help of that penalty, Alabama does get a little bit of a field position edge. Auburn will start with the ball at its own 10 when we come back.
If you were stranded on an island, what kind of car would you want? On this island, you'd want the legendary reliability of Toyota Camry. You'd want responsive 16-valve power and front-wheel drive to ease your way through savage traffic in very civilized room and comfort. And, of course, you'd want Camry style, just to impress the natives. Toyota quality. Who could ask for anything more? When you look through a Minolta Maxim, any picture you can imagine is possible. Minolta, the leader in SLR technology, with more autofocus lenses, more autofocus zooms, to help you capture more of the action. You and Minolta Maxim bring creativity to life. Maxim, the ultimate system. Only from the mind of Minolta.
In one of these, and in one of these. One of these lasts longer than all the
laboratory tests prove in most devices, Energizer lasts longer than any other battery. New Energizer.
CBS Sports presents college football. Today's CFA game is sponsored by your Toyota dealer and the '88 Toyota Camry. Toyota quality, who could ask for anything more? The Energizer battery, good times never lasted longer. And by U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start.
There has been not a shred of sunshine all day in Legion Field. And we take a look back at this punt return.
There's the illegal block on Crane at the top of the screen, but watch this hit by Lorenzo Ward, 18, coming up right here. Boom! Now that's impact. See the head immediately ducks, and he goes backwards. Lorenzo Ward's just a freshman.
And as a result of the illegal block, the ball goes back to the 10-yard line. So Auburn starts from there, and on first down, Reggie Ware has a gain of about 6 before Greg Gilbert met him and brought him down for Alabama. I'm Jim Lampley along with Tim Brandt. You're watching CBS Sports telecast of Auburn, Alabama from Legion Field, where it is 7-0 Auburn, 12-12 to go in the third quarter. Last game of its kind in one of college football's most storied series. On second down 4, Danley has a pickup of 3. I say last game of its kind because this is the last time that the 75,808 tickets for access to Legion Field have been divided 37,904 to one side and 37,904 to the other. Next year when they play here, with Alabama being designated as the home team, Auburn will have only 10,900 tickets. Where they play the following year is in dispute. Auburn says they'll play down at their place. Alabama says they'll play here. On third down, Reggie Ware picks up a first down for the Tigers. So Auburn is able to dig out a little bit of space as they move it from their 10 to their 21. Gene Jelks and George Bethune made the stop for Alabama.
You see, Auburn is making all the critical plays right now, the plays that they have to make. Alabama has had chances and has not made the plays when it counted. They had a 4th and inches, did not make it. They had a 4th and goal at the 1 and ran a play action. Threw the ball over Howard Cross's head, did not make it. So they are not making the critical plays, and they have not capitalized on the turnover.
First down now for Berger and the Tigers, and Berger drops back. Gets away from Thomas. Can't get away from the second man, number 51, Tommy Cole. Again, though, it was Derek Thomas who created havoc for the Auburn offense.
3rd sack of the day for Alabama. Cole and Thomas. Now, what do you think Jeff Berger's watching? When he gets back there, he's got his head on a swivel. Where's number 55? Where's number 55? Here he comes. Inside take now. He chases him out of there, forces him on the side, and here comes Cole. Cole grabs him from behind and takes him down. But it was Derek Thomas, 55, that made that play because he got Berger out of the pocket.
Berger never has to look too far to find 55. About a second and a half, and he's going to be in his face.
Thomas says his favorite number is 12. He wants to be near it all day.
Draw play. Danley couldn't get away from number 9 out there, Mike Smith. Smith, the freshman out of Gainesville, Florida.
You see more and more schools now going to the south, especially in Florida, to get their skilled positions. So many kids come out of there that can run, catch. They've got those quick flex muscles where they can get out in skilled positions.
Out from under the shadow of Galen Hall's Florida Gator machine came Mike Smith. He made that stop after a 3-yard pickup. Well, no, a 7-yard pickup. Could have been 2nd and 14. It's now 3rd and 7. They try to draw again. Derek Thomas has Danley. Danley tries to make it to the chain, and he got very close. And Danley showed real strength there as he carried Derek Thomas for about 5 yards.
You watch Thomas here. He lost the leverage in his legs. Boom, he'll make the hit here. All right, now he'll skate down that line. Now he's in pursuit. Here he makes the contact, but see, he's got to tuck that tail. His legs are extended, doesn't have the leverage. While the running back, Danley, still does. And drove him and got the first down.
And Stacy Danley, who now has 14 carries for 71 yards, in the game, picks up a first down for Auburn. And for the first time all day, the sun breaks through the clouds and sheds a little light, ironically, on the Alabama sideline. Ironic because it is Auburn which leads 7-0 and which has now picked up 2 first downs since starting this drive from its own 10-yard line. That's a small war eagle. That's actually an argument eagle.
That's one you carry into the tavern with you.
Harry Mose gets a short gain on first down. You look at Pat Dye. It is more than mildly disconcerting to a lot of Alabama fans and supporters that Pat Dye sounds and sometimes even looks like Bear Bryant. Neither Ray Perkins nor Bill Curry are in that category.
No question about it. You close your eyes, you think Bear's there with you.
The rhythm of the speech is the same. Certainly the hard-nosed toughness is similar. 2nd down 6. Ware, first down, finally knocked out of bounds across midfield at the Alabama 48. 17-yard gain for the fullback, Reggie Ware.
Boy, missed tackles, missed tackles, missed tackles. You've got to wrap your arms. Gene Jokes had him and let him get away. It almost looks now like the Alabama defense is getting tired. They're not coming up, wrapping the arms, trying to get that leverage back under your legs where all the impact comes from, where all the power comes from, and putting them down on their backs.
Well, indeed, if you just look at the numbers on the roster, Auburn is bigger and stronger. Reggie Ware weighs 236 pounds. And Alabama does indeed look a little bit worn down right now. Danley. Slow developing play.
You know what, Jim? That's a good point. And Alabama readily admits that they really aren't any physical match for Auburn. They came in saying that. But how do you explain a guy like Mose, the running back, taking it around that left side, or Danley rather? He weighs 200 pounds. You got a guy like Derek Thomas coming up who's 225, 230, and he's still the running back wins the contest. That's not physical. That's just getting a leverage under you and just taking it and a little desire to get to that first down marker.
2nd down 8. Auburn staying on the ground.
Number 21, Vincent Harris, stopped by number 51, Tommy Cole.
And Vincent Harris carrying the ball for the first time is stopped by Tommy Cole.
At the Alabama 45.
So Cole, who had the sack a few plays ago, makes a tackle after a short gain by Harris, and now it will be 3rd down, 7 yards to go. Plenty of time to go in the ball game, but you get the feeling that it might be more than just a little important to Alabama to stop Auburn on this play.
See, the time left in the ball game is not the key. The time of possession is the key. Auburn's had the ball a long time, and the Alabama defense is tired. They need a rest. Here comes Thomas.
And Berger overthrows.
And then he looks at his feet almost to say, I know you're there, Derek.
So Alabama gets a key stop of Auburn on 3rd down. It will be 4th down and 7. The ball at the 45-yard line. Brian Schulman will be standing at his 40. High, long kick. Jelks runs away from it. It goes all the way to the back line. Alabama, after the 45-yard punt, will start with the football at its own 20-yard line. 7 minutes to go in the 3rd, trailing 7-zip.
We're not a company, but outstanding people come to us every day. People who want to make a contribution to a team and do work that really counts. People eager to see new places, do the unusual, and find the unusual. People who become your friends for life. People just like you. We're not a company. We're your country. We're the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Army. We're the armed forces. It's a great place to start.
It's the right beer at the right time. It's the silver bullet that stays the fine. It's a new way to go to town. The silver bullet won't slow you down. So come on, it's a Coors Light. It's the right beer now. To the good life, yeah. Good life, yeah. So come on, it's the Coors Light. It's the right beer now.
There's a tendency in business to focus on the big picture. But at Cigna, we realize the big picture is actually made up of millions of smaller pictures. which is why our companies provide an array of insurance, healthcare, employee benefits, and financial services to millions of individuals and thousands of businesses, one person at a time. Cigna, personalized service to business around the world.
We bring you back in the third quarter, and there are the facts of the game. If Auburn wins this game, it goes to the Sugar Bowl. But if Alabama wins, the Sugar Bowl must choose between the Tide and LSU. And Bill Curry says that it ought to be his team, not LSU.
I can't face my players if we're fortunate enough to beat Auburn, and we've already beaten LSU on their home field, and say, okay, fellas, we're the co-champs and we beat LSU, but really we shouldn't be going to the Sugar Bowl. I can't say that. That isn't true, in my opinion.
So those are Curry's feelings, and of course, you can understand his position.
I agree with him. Hey, listen, if it's head-to-head competition, and you go down and beat LSU in Baton Rouge, and you're co-champions, LSU was there that last year, as part of the criterion.
LSU has been ranked higher all year. Alabama 1st and 10 from the 20. Dunn able to release the ball, and the incompletion saves Alabama some yardage. Flag down. And the flag was thrown back at the area where Dunn went out of bounds after releasing the ball. So we'll wait to see if it's a personal foul call against Auburn.
If it is, it's David Rocker.
And it'd be a big break.
6'4", 260-pound freshman.
In a moment, I'll give you the rest of the LSU argument. It is a roughing the passer call. It'll give Alabama 15 yards, and here's another look.
Here's 95. There's the hit. All right, now the ball's gone. He's got to release him right now. Instead, he just throws him to the ground. Good call.
So now it is first down, Alabama from the 35. And the give is to the fullback, Bo Wright inside, and Wright has a gain of about 6. Here's the rest of the LSU argument. They've been ranked higher all year, and they have lost only one game, that one to Alabama. Alabama has lost 3, and included among those 3 losses were a crushing defeat by Notre Dame, 37-6, and the embarrassment of a loss to Memphis State. So LSU's argument would be that the Sugar Bowl committee shouldn't invite a team which has lost to Memphis State as opposed to a team which has been in the top 10 all year. I'm neutral myself. 3 yards to go for the first down. Bobby Humphrey has it as he gets across the 45 to about the 47. Greg Staples made the stop for Auburn, and suddenly, after that personal foul call against Auburn, Alabama looks a little more alive.
I still say, though, if you're going to lose a football game, you got to lose it early in the year. You know, if you just changed, of course, if and buts were candy and nuts, oh, what a party we'd have. But if they just changed Notre Dame and Penn State on their schedule, that means they had won 5 straight SEC games and beaten Penn State. But instead, they're coming in here with that loss at Notre Dame, their worst regular season loss in 30 years, and that doesn't sit well with the Sugar Bowl folks.
Dunn can't find anybody. Finally releases, and it's incomplete. Intended receiver was Howard Cross, the tight end, and he dropped it as he was being ridden out of bounds. The other players in this scenario are the Gator Bowl and the Hall of Fame Bowl in Tampa, Florida. Incidentally, it's now time to present this week's Toyota Leadership Award to team players who've been singled out by their school's coaching and faculty staff for outstanding performance in the areas of team contributions, academics, and citizenship. They are Kerry Good from Alabama and Wynn Lyle from Auburn. I'll tell you more about them in a moment. Right now, it's 2nd down 10 for Alabama at its 47-yard line. Humphrey runs right into the middle of the Auburn defense and has a gain of only a couple to about midfield. Ron Stallworth made the tackle for Auburn. Kerry Good of Alabama is a senior general management major from Town Creek, Alabama. And Wynn Lyle of Auburn is a sophomore pre-med major from the little town of Auburn. Toyota donates a check in the amount of $1,000 to each of the 2 schools' general scholarship funds. Those are good choices. You're particularly heartened by the choice of Kerry Good because he's been a great citizen during his years at Alabama. On 3rd down 6, Dunn is in trouble and is down at his own 40-yard line. Kurt Crane was there early. First Auburn sack of the day. Nate Hill and Ron Stallworth creating the pressure from their sides of the defensive line. And so Moore gets ready to kick it away again for Alabama. Donaldson at his 20. Takes it at the 18 on the run and is dropped on a fine open field tackle by number 23, Todd Richardson of Alabama. 42-yard punt, 4-yard return. Auburn leading Alabama 7-0. Will have it at its 22. We come back.
Auburn will put it in play first and 10 at the Tigers' 22.
Makita, the cordless power tool system more professionals use to work around the house or even build one. Makita, it's all the power you need.
It's so easy to own, Tercel. It's so easy.
The 1988 Toyota Tercel Easy. The price will take you right back to the 50s. Only $59.48. Reliable Toyota Tercel with a price dialed down to the 50s. Right now, power and zip, contemporary up-to-the-minute style, good old 50s price.
Tercel, who could ask for anything more? Toyota.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
I think little Kevin is ready for a radio-controlled car this year. I can see him now as his Radio Shack Off-Road Wild Champ takes to the hills, or maybe the Malibu 4x4 off-roader. It's got both 2- or 4-wheel drive. Or I could get him that Radio Shack Turbo Racer. It sure kicks up the dirt. Little Kevin would really like that.
Remote radio-controlled toys, $11.95 to $159.95. Only at Radio Shack.
Last year, the Giants knocked out the Redskins. Now the first-place Skins are out for revenge. Sunday on CBS Sports.
With the leaves turning outside Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, Auburn leads 7-0. Still a long way to go in the second half. Down to James Brown.
All right, Jim. Now, although Auburn's nickname is Tigers, their mascot happens to be this war eagle, which just happens to be nicknamed Tigers. Now, I don't think anybody will question why a bird will be nicknamed Tigers when you consider that with each one of its talons, it can apply 450 pounds per square inch of pressure. And that compares with an average man's grip of about 20 pounds per square inch. And, of course, Auburn is hoping to put the big squeeze on Alabama. Let's go back upstairs to Jim.
Well, Tim, you've met that bird, haven't you?
I didn't get that close to him.
Nor, in fact, did I. James is a more courageous sort. On first down for Auburn, a big play by number 92, Darrell Whetstone.
Great play. Boy, that's when you just stay low, you penetrate, you shoot the gap, and make the tackle. Boy, he was on the ground. That took great arm strength because he was completely laid out.
And he's the backup nose guard, so you hope that, or you expect, I would think, that the Alabama coaches saw the same thing we saw in the last Auburn drive, which was that the Tide defense appeared to be wearing down just a little bit. Second down, 9 yards to go. Stacey Danley tries to cut up inside and has only a couple. Number 59, George Bethune, held his ground. Sunday, CBS Sports presents a doubleheader featuring 2 of the NFL's most intense rivalries. First, a black and blue divisional battle as the Packers meet the Bears. Most of you will see that. The rest of you will see the regional games listed there. You've got to check your local listings to see which one. Then Giants take on Redskins, and the Skins, with strong memories of last season's NFC Championship game when the Giants kept them from going to the Super Bowl. Now the first-place Skins have a big chance for revenge. It all starts with the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern Time Sunday. Berger on third down gets out of trouble momentarily and then is dragged down. Derek Thomas again, one of the men there to tackle Berger.
It's a big play because Alabama was a little bit mixed up in the secondary. Their coverage was shaky. They didn't know what they were doing. Watch Derek Thomas now. Here he comes, 55 again. He's just sneaking in there. He's playing hide and seek. Now he has to get rid of the blocker and come out and make the tackle.
And Auburn lines up in a hurry to punt it away. Schulman from inside his 10 gets this one off, but it's a low kick. And Jelks brings it back to about the 47 before a wallop is put on him by Elton Billingsley, number 47. 32-yard punt, 2-yard return. Alabama with outstanding field position. 2:47 remaining in the third quarter. You wonder when and if Alabama will begin to open it up a little bit on offense.
They almost have to. They've had success with Humphrey, but their passing has been underneath. It's been not successful. Now they've got to look deep every once in a while. They got to loosen this thing up. I'll tell you what, Auburn's not doing anything fancy defensively. They're playing basic vanilla zone.
They're good in the game for Alabama. Sometimes that means that the Tide is ready to go for the big play. Screen, Humphrey. Not much there. Auburn was able to force him back to the inside, and then Ogletree, number 94, led the group that closed it up. Through the years, in the 1890s, Auburn dominated the rivalry, pretty even up to 1907 when they stopped playing and didn't play again until 1948. It was pretty even through 59. Of course, Auburn had the national championship team in 57. Then Alabama dominated in the 60s and 70s. They've been even in the 80s. Good on second down is dropped for a loss. Ogletree, again, number 94. And the sophomore out of Barnesville, Georgia, got a surprise start today ahead of Alvin Mitchell at outside linebacker, and he has come up big for Pat Dodd.
It's the only way to play the option. You had Craig Ogletree, the outside linebacker, taking the pitch man. You had Nate Hill, the the defensive tackle, taking the quarterback. So everything was covered that time. They left nothing uncovered.
Third down, 10 for Alabama. Battle and Whitehurst are the wide receivers, both to the top of the screen. Good in motion to the bottom. Good protection for Dunn. Now he breaks out. Threw it into a crowd. Punting team back on for the Tide. Well, they've had good field position on both of the last two possessions. Sooner or later, they're going to have to take advantage, or else they'll be headed to the Hall of Fame Bowl in Tampa.
You want to know what this game means? I remember seeing Chris Moore as a freshman, had a broken left leg, had his left leg in a cast. That's his plant foot on the punts, and still punted against Auburn.
Donaldson makes the fair catch back at the 15-yard line. A 39-yard punt. And now Auburn will start the offense from its 15, trailing 7-0. And Auburn, which has been more successful running the ball in the second half than they were in the first half, can, I think, continue to play conservatively on offense, Tim, if Alabama is unable to produce a big play.
I agree with you. And right now, Auburn offensively is controlling the line of scrimmage. The Alabama defense is tired. They've been stringing them out. They've been running them from sideline to sideline. And right now, Auburn's got the advantage.
Auburn plays fast, comes out in a hurry on first down, and Stacy Danley has a pickup of about 5 before Tommy Cole can make the stop for Alabama. So that'll bring it out to about the 20. It'll be second down and 5 to go. 17 carries, 81 yards for Danley, and now Danley has more yards in the ball game than does his opposite number, Bobby Humphrey of Alabama. On second down, Reggie Ware is met and stopped after a gain of only about a yard. Number 59, Bethune, and number 56, Gilbert, were there, and you saw Bethune pumping his arm in the air, trying to arouse the emotions of his teammates. Clock ticking, 26 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Auburn will get one more play off before the period ends. Now it is third down and 4 yards to go. The Tigers are 4 for 11 on third downs in the game. Berger, complete. First down yardage and out of bounds at the 29. Second catch of the game for Lawyer Tillman.
Boy, that play was set up nicely, too. It looked like it was going to be a down and out, and it was, but they had a pick out there. They could rub the defensive back off. Once they rubbed him off with a pick, he was wide open. Watch this now. Here's Berger. No question where he's going. See his head? He's looking to the right already. and the ball's right there. But the play was made by 14 as Freddie Wagan, who had to rub off the defensive back.
And got him a singleton on Tillman. Sack. Derek Thomas again, along with number 92, Darrell Whetstone, the backup nose guard. And on that play, the third period comes to a close. 5th sack of the game for Alabama. And you can just isolate number 55 on every play because he is the killer force on the Bama defense.
6'2", 222 pounds. I'm surprised. Look at this. They're using 3 guys trying to pick him up. The backs, not even a chance. He's so quick. He's got those great feet. Just tap danced around him.
And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. Auburn 7, Alabama nothing. College football on CBS Sports will return after this message and a word from your local station.
If you could have
A truck that'll make you wonder how you ever got along without it. Toyota Standard Bed. The one that sets the standard for compact trucks with the biggest standard payload in its class. And the solid value that makes Toyota #1 in import truck sales. Don't compromise. Don't settle for less than Toyota quality. Now who's looking out for #1?
Toyota.
Toyota, who could ask for anything more?
Little towns in Europe had their own way of knowing the holidays were near. It wasn't the decorations or the first magic snowfall. It was the appearance of special holiday lagers in every pub and beer hall. Today, that tradition lives in America at Coors. Introducing Winterfest, a lager so bold, so extravagant, we brew it only for the holidays. And when the new year comes, the Winterfest will be gone, but not the memories.
This is CBS.
Jim Burke has 4 for the road for you. Buick, Nissan, Subaru, and Suzuki. Luxurious Jim Burke Buicks. Hot-selling Jim Burke Nissans. Economical, sporty Jim Burke Subarus. And exciting fun machines, Jim Burke Suzukis. 4 for the road for you at Jim Burke Buick, Nissan, Subaru in downtown Birmingham. And Jim Burke Suzuki on the corner of Red Lane Road and Roebuck Plaza Drive.
The after Thanksgiving sale at Macy's. Save on Panasonic's 4-head VCR with remote and slow motion, only $290. Save on Panasonic's 20-inch cable-ready tuner with remote, $295. And save on Kenwood's 125-watt remote compact disc stereo with bonus package $1,100. Today and tomorrow only, the after Thanksgiving sale.
We're Macy's. We're a part of your life.
Roebuck Mazda understands there are more cars than there are buyers, and car dealers are making deals. But at Roebuck Mazda, we ran out of 87s 2 months ago, so we're making deals on 88s. Like this 88 Mazda MX-6 for only $10,599 or $175.62 a month. Or this 626 for only $10,499 or $166.07 a month. Or this 88 323 for $59.99 or $109.94 a month. Our new finance team at Mazda American Credit gives you better financing than ever before. 88s at clearance prices. Roebuck Mazda, Parkway East.
WBMG, Birmingham 42, in stereo. CBS Sports presents college football. Today's CFA game is sponsored by Cigna, a leader in insurance, healthcare, employee benefits, and financial services. Toyota, setting the standard for quality and value. And by Wrangler Jeans, made in the USA.
As we bring you back live to Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, the fourth quarter begins in the 52nd meeting between the Auburn Tigers and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Auburn with the football at its own 20-yard line. Draw plays. And number 32, Stacy Danley, breaks out to about the 35. And across it to the 36-yard line before Mike Smith, the safety man, made the stop for Alabama. That play came on 2nd and 19. And now Auburn will face 3rd down and 3. 18 carries, 97 yards now for Danley, a freshman from Winston, Georgia, who has been brilliant in the second half.
He goes out. He's not banged up. It's an equipment situation. He needs to get his chin strap squared away. Boy, he's made the difference in the running game. 19 years old. The athlete he mostly admires, Eric Dickerson. If that's the case, what do you think his major is? Finance. He's smart. Yeah.
3rd down 3. Reggie Ware. Close. Dragged down right at about the chain. This will be a critical measurement for Alabama, which needs to get the ball back and get something going, if only to maintain a little confidence. The second half has been almost all Auburn, though there has been no scoring. It was 7-0 at halftime. It's 7-0 now. Pat Dye relaxed as he sips from a cup on the sideline. Bill Curry, you saw, shuffling his feet. And by about an inch, Reggie Ware moves the nose of the football past the chain, and it's another Auburn first down. So Auburn, after the sack of Berger, is able to come back and get the first down on 2 running plays. The big one, the 16-yarder by Danley. The ball is at the 39 of Auburn. Ware. All the way to the 40-yard line. Mike Smith makes the stop. Flag down on the play. 21-yard pickup for Ware. In the first half, the Alabama defense didn't bend much. Now they are. But this is a big break for the Tide.
Procedure against the offense, just 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Still first down.
5 yards. First and 15.
Illegal procedure, but there were only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. That's why they're bringing it back. That's a major break for Alabama. Ware, 6'2", 236-pounder. Played behind Tommy Agee last year. He was the designated short yardage man, but the pressure's right there on Jeff Berger.
Now it is first and 15. And this time Ware is met and dropped in the middle of the line.
3-yard gain on the play.
Meanwhile, there is a dramatic development on the far sideline behind the Alabama bench. At the beginning of the season, the starting quarterback for Alabama was a junior former walk-on named David Smith. He broke his collarbone September 26th against Vanderbilt. He was not expected to play again this season. But this week, Alabama coaches, to their surprise, were told by doctors that Smith might be able to play today. And with Mike Dunn, or Jeff Dunn, I should say, having struggled in the second half, Smith has now begun to warm up. Berger on second down throws complete to Duke Donaldson, but the Duke is out of bounds at the 44, and he'll be short of the first down by about 5. So you wonder now if on the next Alabama possession we might not see David Smith in the game and a little bit less conservative Alabama offense.
Coming into this ball game, I was sure that we'd see David Smith. They were talking about him the way that Coach Curry talked about him in his office yesterday and the day before. He is amazed that Smith came back with that collarbone injury and is throwing very well.
You saw Jeff Dunn there slapping his hand. On third down, Berger throws complete to Donaldson, and again, Auburn overcomes the penalty and converts for a first down.
See, we're talking about David Smith coming into the ball game. First thing Alabama's got to do is get the ball back, and right now they're not doing that. Jeff Berger is taking this defense. He's taking what they're giving him. Now, remember, we told you, they give him a lot of autonomy. He carries 3 plays up to the line of scrimmage with him. Makes a decision up there, sees where the weakness in the defense is, audibilizes, and goes with it.
Very big pickup of a first down with the third down pass to Donaldson. There are the numbers on Berger. He is a more accurate passer than was Heisman Trophy winner Pat Sullivan during his day at Auburn. On first down, Danley gets a couple. And before the game, this is what Jeff Berger had to say about momentum in the fourth quarter.
I want to have the momentum going into the fourth quarter. That's something that the winning team in the past 4 or 5 years, the one that had the momentum going into the fourth quarter, has usually come out on top.
He's got it now. 12 minutes exactly remaining in the ball game. They're in Alabama territory, Jim, and they've got that momentum.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Number 21 with his second carry of the day is Vincent Harris. Philip Brown made the stop for Alabama, and now again Auburn faces a big third down situation. And more to the point, the Alabama defense has a chance to force a punt, and it becomes more and more important for the Tide to take advantage of that chance.
And do not forget that Alabama has already blocked 1 punt this afternoon. But they got to stop Auburn here first. Everybody's coming.
Tillman across the 40 to the 39-yard line. The chain was right at the 40 by about a half a yard. Tillman got the first down. His third catch of the day, and every one of them has been a big one.
Talk about 85 if you want to. That play was made by Jeff Berger. He came up to the line. He read the blitz just like we did up here. When you're in blitz, what happens? Man coverage. Who do you go to? The guy that's 6'4" and is an out. I'm telling you, the guy's Baryshnikov in cleats. Just get it out there. He'll make the catch. So they got it out there. He got the first down.
Wendell Davis of LSU was a first-team All-America player. Auburn supporters will insist to you that Tillman is a better receiver than Wendell Davis. Danley has only a couple. Clock continues to run past 11 minutes.
Gut check time now. Somebody's got to take a hold of that defense. It's got to be Derek Thomas or one of those leaders. Get him in that huddle and say, hey, look, strap it on. We've got 10 minutes left in this ball game. They score here, it's over. We're in fourth place. We stop them here, we get the ball back, and we've got all kinds of time to do things.
Second down 8.
Draw.
Danley stumbles. He had a big hole. He would have gone for the first down if he had not temporarily lost his footing. As it is, he stopped about a yard short. 6-yard pickup. Willie Shepard made the tackle. 21 carries for 110 yards for Stacy Danley. Third down and a long one.
Oh, what a hit.
Reggie Ware didn't get it. Did not get it. Now, if Auburn were to go for a field goal here, it would be a 47-yard try.
Ware stopped by the middle of the Alabama line for no gain. Older than one at the Alabama 30.
Bethune, Derek Thomas, Gilbert, the linebackers, watch. The line does their job, stacks it up. Then look, they go over the top. The linebackers fill, meet the ball carrier in the air, and take him back. All three linebackers were there that time. Outstanding job going up over the top.
And as Auburn lined up in field goal kicking formation, Pat Dye said, no, let's give it another look. That's the situation. We'll be back.
Who will capture the Heisman? Find out next Saturday on CBS Sports.
There's a tendency in business to focus on the big picture. But at Cigna, we realize the big picture is actually made up of millions of smaller pictures, which is why our companies provide an array of insurance, healthcare, employee benefits, and financial services to millions of individuals and thousands of businesses. One person at a time. Cigna, personalized service to business around the world.
In the 1988 Olympic Games, something special will happen. Every American athlete will bring home the gold. Gold-tipped, long-lasting Kodak batteries. The official batteries of the 1988 Olympic Games.
For Toyota quality and get city smart and country tough in one powerful package. Toyota 4Runner. With 4-wheel drive and room for 5, 4Runner commutes, carries, and conquers all roads. 4Runner, #1 in customer satisfaction for 2 years running. Now who's looking out for #1?
Toyota.
Toyota, who could ask for anything more?
It's 7-0 Auburn with 9:13 to go, and moments ago, Alabama got a big stop of Auburn on 3rd and 1.
Here's the key play now. These guys in here have to clog everything up. They've just got a submarine, but the play's made right here by Gilbert. Watch him. He's got to anticipate and come over the pileup to make the hit. See the pile up down there, the submarine by the lineman. Now here comes Gilbert. Anticipates, gups over, up and over, and stops the ball carrier right there. Actually makes him go backwards.
And because of that big play, now Auburn lines up to try a 47-yard field goal. Win Lyle is the kicker. The hold is good. The kick is up. Wide to the right. Alabama dodges a bullet. 9 minutes, 7 seconds left. The Tide offense comes onto the field, and the quarterback will be... We're still waiting to see. There is no quarterback on the field yet.
It's David Smith.
It is
coming
David
on right
Smith.
now.
The quarterback will be David Smith. Bill Curry watching the kick go wide. We're still in the game, guys.
David Smith, as Jim mentioned, a junior. He's from Gadsden, Alabama. He was the backup to Mike Shula last year, a walk-on.
Playing for the first time in 2 months and 1 day. Humphrey. 12-yard gain. Kevin Porter made the stop for Auburn. Smith's very presence on the field suddenly seems to lift Alabama. Tomorrow, CBS Sports continues its holiday weekend lineup of great football action with another college football set, this time doubleheader. Noon Eastern time, third-ranked Florida State against Florida, and then Notre Dame against Miami. Last week, Notre Dame lost its national championship hopes. They'll try to eliminate Miami tomorrow. CBS Sports continues with college football. First down, Alabama. Ball at the 43-yard line. Smith. To the fullback for about 5, Bo Wright. And again, Alabama suddenly playing with more vigor. Of course, they got a long rest. Auburn held the ball for more than 7 minutes on that possession.
Yeah, but you made a key point. He doesn't even have to come in and complete a pass right now. He has just energized this team by his presence. What a story. Broke his collarbone in prep school. Came in as a walk-on here at Alabama. He won a job, backed up Mike Shula. Breaks his collarbone after upsetting Penn State this year. They said he wouldn't be back. Here he is. What an inspiration.
Dropped by Edward Phillips after only a gain of about a yard. Third down, 4. Crane was also there.
So we anticipate that we're going to see Smith's first pass. Now, here's the key. The collarbone that he broke this time was not the same one he broke when he was in prep school. It is his right collarbone, but he's left-handed, just like Mike Shula was.
He won the starting quarterback job against an array of high school All-Americans who were much bigger names. Jeff Dunn, Billy Ray, Vince Sutton, those three among the most heavily recruited quarterbacks in the country over the past few years. Nobody cared much about David Smith. Third down, 4. Plenty of room if he wants to run it. He throws short. A little indecisiveness. Marco battled the intended receiver. If Smith had tucked it down immediately, I think he'd have gotten to the chain.
It looked like he was directing traffic. He seemed to be composed enough to tell people where to go. He was actually pointing to his receivers to break away and separate from the defensive backs.
So it's 4th down, 4. They bring it back to the right hash mark, and Moore will try to pin Auburn's 8. High kick. Auburn bounce. Downed at about the 20. Auburn is 7 minutes and 18 seconds away from another trip to New Orleans.
There's a new stonewashed jean made for a man after his work is done. American Hero Jeans from Wrangler.
Take me back where I belong. Take me where it's safe and warm.
The
Goodyear Vector is the all-season radial that pumps water away to keep more tire tread on the road. And for some, that's a comforting thought.
Take me home, Goodyear, take me home. Never matters how far I go, Goodyear, take me home.
There's a place where time has stood still. Yorktown, Virginia.
A lot of tourists come here, and that was my problem. I run a hotel association reservation center. We couldn't handle all the calls. Our system seemed this outdated.
AT&T comes through with advanced telemarketing.
Since our AT&T consultant helped us redesign our operation, business is booming.
From equipment to networking, from computers to communications, AT&T is the right choice.
Well, hello again as we bring you back live to Legion Field. We've got 7 minutes, 18 seconds to go, and Auburn has played very confidently, effectively, almost arrogantly in the second half of the 7-0 lead.
Confidently, I don't know if arrogantly. I'll tell you this, Jeff Berger is a curator of clocks, and he now knows that he's got 7:18 left, so he just wants to eat that clock up. Alabama, on the other hand, has to make that big play. We got to get Derek Thomas or somebody in there, they're saying, and make that big play. We got to stop him right now, get that ball back, and give David Smith another shot.
If you're Alabama, do you look to blitz a little bit here?
Well, they've been doing that. I think they've been mixing their defenses up pretty well. They've held Auburn to 7 points.
On first down, Berger pitches back to number 25, Harry Mose, and the freshman who has scored the game's only touchdown has a pickup of 4. It'll be second down 6. Mose got the only TD in the game on a 5-yard run in the last minute of the first half.
Nice job by Bethune that time on the outside. Also, he got support, run support from Kermit Kendrick. They came up, they strung it out, they met the blocker, and they made the tackle.
On second down, Auburn lines up in a tight formation, announcing to Alabama that they're going to run, and they get only a couple.
Except I was surprised that time. I was watching Gilbert, and Gilbert ran himself out of the play. Just before the snap, he seemed to see something and ran to the left. His left. The play came behind him.
Nevertheless, the defense closed up and held for a gain of only a yard, and now it will be third down 5. Berger, 14 of 18 in the game. He's been brilliant in the second half.
First down.
Stacy Danley across the 30 to the 35. Big play for Auburn. Gene Jelks made the tackle for Alabama. But the Tigers get a chance to run a little more clock. 22 carries, 118 yards for Danley, and he's slow getting up.
Again, Jim, there was confusion in the Alabama defense. Auburn was already up and out of the huddle and over the ball, and the defensive players for Alabama were still looking over to the sidelines for the defensive call. They had their hands in the air.
That's been the problem for Alabama in the second half, and again, Berger has been at the heart of that. As you said, a curator of the clock.
No question, but the fact I was saying the clock up on the scoreboard didn't have as much impact in this ball game as the possession of the football.
First down now from the 35. Tillman in motion. Danley with a hole. Pickup of about 5. If you're Alabama at this point, Tim, I think you've got to gamble a little bit and try to close up against the running game. Just take the chance that Auburn isn't going to try to throw deep to Tillman in these circumstances.
Well, I'll tell you another thing you have to do, too, and that's start tackling the football. You've got to get that football loose.
Bill Curry can do nothing but watch and wait.
You know, they've been playing aggressively defensively. They're playing games up front. They've been blitzing the linebackers.
Reggie Ware is dropped. Good play at the corner for Alabama. Thomas was there, along with number 95, Thomas Rhea.
See, Jim, there's nothing fancy about that. It's just power versus power right now. And right now, Auburn's the more physical football team.
Alabama shuffling along the defensive front, trying to keep a little energy in the ball game. At times in the second half, the defense has looked tired because of that time of possession statistic we showed you a moment ago.
Another third down situation. Alabama's got to capitalize on these if they want a shot.
The chain is at the 45. incomplete, but a flag down. Obviously a mix-up. Two receivers in the same place. Berger wanted to get it to Tillman, I think.
The way John Magnum, though, reacted to the official, it's going to be pass interference against him.
And if so, it would be the third penalty to have critically wounded the Crimson Tide in this game. The 99-yard drive to the game's only touchdown was fueled by 2 personal foul calls against Bama.
Magnum's not a great speed guy, but he is the best cover guy on the corner for Alabama. He may be called, though, for pass interference, and that's what it looks like it's going to be.
Well, if it's a 5-yard penalty, it will give Auburn a first down.
Holding on the defense.
Instead, it is a big one, and it takes it to the 49-yard line of Alabama. 10-yard penalty. Pat Dye sees the chains move for his team. 4 minutes, 24 seconds to go. Auburn making no secret now of its desire to run inside and keep the clock moving. Sunday, CBS Sports presents a doubleheader featuring 2 of the NFL's intense rivalries. Most of you will see Green Bay and Chicago. The rest of you will see some of those regional matchups there. Where are you going this weekend, Tim?
Got a great football game. New Orleans and Pittsburgh. Both teams very much in the hunt, still in the playoff picture.
Saints have been playing brilliantly lately. I'll be doing the Tampa Bay versus the Rams game, but most of you across the country will see the Giants and the Redskins in the second half of this doubleheader. It all starts with the NFL today at 12:30 Sunday. Second down, breaking through is Danley. Another big play by the freshman tailback, and it'll be a first down Auburn at the Alabama 35. Kermit Kendrick made the stop for the Crimson Tide. The pom-poms that are waving in this stadium right now are the blue and orange ones. Pat Dye thinks he's going back to the Sugar Bowl.
John Hutchin, watch 66. He's the guy that makes this play work right at center. Watch the block. Gets his hands extended. See? Keeps the body out. He's also holding. Actually, a pretty good takedown that time. That was a tackle. He just put his arms behind the legs of Willie Wyatt and tackled him.
On second down, or on first down, Reggie Ware gets a couple. Thomas and Shepard made the stop for Alabama. Clock runs, and when they start with the ball again, there will be fewer than 3 minutes to go in the game.
See, for Hudson now, that's a great play. The coaches will see that and say, hey, what a block. You sprung him, got the big first down. But in essence, he got away with a hold.
Bill Curry hitches up his pants and tries to exhort his troops to stop the Auburn thrust. Second down, 5. Danley again. All the way down to the 12-yard line. Alabama beginning to look a little disheartened. Shannon Felder knocked him out of bounds. What a game he's had.
Just outside the Alabama 11.
Carries, 154 yards for Stacy Danley. Reggie Ware cuts up inside and moves it past the 10-yard line to the Alabama 9.
A 2-yard gain on the play. Number 34, Lawrence Stewart. Second and 8 for Auburn at the Alabama 9.
Alabama's got all its timeouts left. They want one now.
Your attention, please. This is John.
So Bill Curry
will
talk to his staff now and see if he can find something left in Alabama's bag of defensive tricks. We'll be back.
Introducing Toyota Corolla for 1988. Dramatic new looks that'll literally stun you, performance that'll surprise you, and value that is legendary. For 1988, it's a whole new dimension for Corolla. Toyota quality. Who could ask for anything more?
Fancy perfumey aftershave. It's got to be a quarterback's locker.
Real guys who get mud on their uniforms use rugged, honest stuff. Ice Blue Aqua Velva.
There's something about today's Aqua Velva, man.
Look for Aqua Velva Christmas gift sets.
Wake up! I could run off the road and you wouldn't know the difference. I can't stay awake. Here, revive with Vivarin. Vivarin helps wake you up.
Government-appointed experts confirm it's safe, effective.
Revive with Vivarin.
There's a tendency in business to focus on the big picture. But at Cigna, we realize the big picture is actually made up of millions of smaller pictures, which is why our companies provide an array of insurance, healthcare, employee benefits, and financial services to millions of individuals and thousands of businesses. One person at a time. Cigna. Personalized service to business around the world.
With 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in Legion Field, Auburn leads 7-0 and knocks on the door again. And if you're one of this state's 1.5 million or so Auburn fans, you'll be comforted to know that the once itinerant coach, Pat Dye, has settled down in Auburn, Alabama. He's bought a 1,025-acre farm in a town called Reeltown, 20 miles from Auburn, and he says that he's staying for the duration in the loveliest village. On second down with the ball at the Alabama 9, Stacy Danley hammers away for his 26th carry of the game and gets it down to the 6th.
Jim, the great coaches have the ability to adapt to their personnel, adapt to the changing times. Here's a guy you're looking at him, Pat Dye. He went from the wishbone to the wishbone option. He went to the I power when he had Brett Fullwood and Bo Jackson. And then he went to the I pass, which they're in now. They run the pass. They had more passing yardage than running yardage coming into this game. That guy right there adapted to his personnel and utilized Jeff Berger to the max.
He admits that it was not the most comfortable move in the world for him to go to a passing offense. But he did it because he had the players to do it. Reggie Ware is stopped on third down. So now it is fourth down, and Alabama uses another timeout to stop the clock with 1:23 to go. There is still a chance for the Tide if they can somehow avert a field goal or a touchdown by Auburn here. We'll be back.
We're not a company.
But we recognize potential. We develop it. We use it.
We'll make sure that as your responsibility grows, so will you.
As your ability for leadership grows, so will you.
Working with us, you'll gain self-confidence.
Become a person with a future.
We're not a company.
We're your country.
We're the Marines.
The Army.
The Navy.
The Air Force.
We're the Armed Forces.
It's a great place to start.
If you could ask for a rugged, reliable partner that'll take on heavy-duty responsibility, Toyota one-ton truck. No compact or even mid-size truck hauls a payload like this. And when you ask for pulling power, 1 ton gives you 2.5 tons. Don't compromise. Don't settle for less than Toyota quality. Now who's looking out for number 1? Toyota. Could ask for anything more.
Third-ranked Florida State faces Florida. Then Notre Dame's championship hopes have been shattered. Now can the Irish shatter the hopes of Miami? Tomorrow on CBS Sports.
Pat Dye stands with longtime Auburn assistant coach Paul Davis on the sideline. Davis was an institution as the defensive coordinator under Shug Jordan, and Dye brought him back onto the staff to reestablish the tradition of the Auburn defense. Now a field goal try coming up for Win Lyle. And this will be a short one, 23 yards. He missed earlier from 47. The kick is up. It's 10-0 Auburn. So a little bit of insurance for the Auburn Tigers. In Pat Dye's 7th year at the helm, they are hoping to go to the Sugar Bowl for the 2nd time. 37,904 Auburn fans making a lot of noise right now. 37,904 Alabama supporters, very quiet. 1 minute, 19 seconds to go. Lyle kicks short. Taken by Pierre Good. And Good takes it to the 37-yard line, from where Alabama will begin in now desperate straits.
It's going to be interesting to see what kind of defense Auburn goes to. They've been so successful all day. It'd be a shame now to go to a prevent defense where they loosen up and try to bring everything underneath. It's when they go into those prevent defenses that teams start connecting and moving the football. They don't need that now. Just play regular defense. And they are.
This will be the 16th offensive play of the second half for Alabama. Auburn has run 45 plays. David Smith throws in the flat to the fullback, Doug Allen, and Allen is knocked out of bounds after a gain of about 4.
Pretty smart that time by Auburn. They came up, lined up just like they were coming into a regular defense and then loosened up. And the War Eagle signs start to ride around Legion Field on the way to New Orleans.
Now, we're a couple of Southern boys, Tim. Shall we try to rip off one good War Eagle here? Shall we wait till the end of the game, or you want to do it now?
I tell you, I've seen business ventures split, families broken up because of these games.
I think you and I are going to be able to remain friends. On second down, Smith throws down the middle. Knocked loose.
Ball game.
Do it.
Ball game. It's over.
A final disheartening blow to Alabama. Nate Hill knocked it loose. Kurt Crane knocked it loose. Nate Hill on the recovery. It was number 82, Clay Whitehurst, who was hit, and he's still down on the field. And you hope now that Whitehurst is not hurt, because he's a gutty guy and a class player. First catch of the game for Whitehurst. Alabama just didn't have the ball in the second half.
But for these guys, it's another championship ring. Here's Whitehurst right here, the possession receiver. They were in trouble anyway because it was in the middle of the field. It would have stopped the clock or kept the clock running with 1 minute left. Boy, what a hit. I'm telling you, that was Kurt Crane just put the lumber to him and knocked it loose. And for the guys in blue, it's another championship and a trip to New Orleans.
And they'll always remember that on the last occasion on which this stadium was half filled with Alabama people and half filled with Auburn people, it was the Auburn group who walked away happy.
For Alabama, there's not a guy on that bench that has a championship ring. This would have been the first, and they just watched it go away.
Well, it's been an up and down season for Bill Curry's team. Some tremendous wins. The big one over Tennessee, another over Penn State. Some terribly disappointing losses. They played with heart and courage today, but they were physically beaten in the second half.
I agree with you. It's been a terribly inconsistent team. They came to beat Penn State, lost to Florida the very next week. They were upset by Memphis State 13-10, but came back and beat Tennessee.
And there's a former Bear Bryant assistant who runs his record against Alabama to 4-3. Tomorrow, CBS Sports continues its lineup of college football action with a doubleheader. Noon Eastern time, third-ranked Florida State taking on Emmitt Smith and the Florida Gators. Then Notre Dame, which had its national championship hopes ended by Penn State last week, will try to end Miami's national championship hopes. And in the eyes of many Irish supporters, get a measure of revenge for the embarrassment of 2 years ago when it takes on Miami. Great college football doubleheader Saturday here on CBS Sports. It all starts at noon Eastern time. In the second half of the game, Tim, Alabama had the ball for 6 minutes, 57 seconds. And if Auburn keeps it the rest of the way, the Tigers will have had it for 23 minutes and 3 seconds.
That's the point we tried to make early. With 7 minutes left in the third quarter, we were looking at the scoreboard. That was not the time that was a factor. The time of possession was it.
And this is a team that came in with a questionable running game. I think you've got to give a lot of credit to Berger for his brilliant technicianship in the second half. But you got to give credit to a freshman running back named Stacy Danley, who has come out of the woodwork in the second half of the season to finally make Auburn supporters forget about what Bo Jackson and Brent Fullwood used to do for them.
Stacey Danley's a pretty good story, too. He had his confidence crushed early in the year. Came in, fumbled a couple of times, and was benched. And there was no running game at all for Auburn. Finally, they said, hey, look, we've got to generate some kind of offense. Let's give Stacey another shot. And number 32 right there came back and accepted the challenge and hasn't put it on the ground since.
Tonight on CBS, you can watch Beauty and the Beast, followed by Dallas and Falcon Crest. Plenty of drama there. There has been considerable drama here in Legion Field today. Now, finally, Clay Whitehurst gets up, but he looks very woozy. And we're not going to hazard any kind of a guess as to what might have happened to Clay. We're just going to say, let's hope that he's okay.
Pat Dye, you know, with this 9-1-1 record, he moved ahead of Georgia coach Vince Dooley and into 8th place on the scroll of the nation's winningest active coaches in terms of winning percentage. Pat Dye.
Head coach at East Carolina, then at Wyoming. After 1 year at Wyoming, he was offered the head job at Auburn. He called Bear Bryant, his former boss at Alabama, and said, should I take the Auburn job? And Bear said, no, I wouldn't do that if I were you, because if you take it, I'm going to whoop you. And Pat said, well, Bear, that may be true, but whoever follows you, I'm going to whoop them like a stepson. And he took the job, and he hasn't exactly whooped them, but he does have a 4.3 edge.
And he's made major progress. They've made the stadium larger. They're trying to move the game to a home and away series where they'll have Alabama in Auburn. The program has not only arrived, but it continues to get better.
And he has given Auburn supporters a kind of pride that they did not enjoy during all of the years that Bryant and Alabama was able to dominate them and the great Shug Jordan in the 60s and 70s. Bear Bryant, Shug Jordan, their great rivalry lasted 25 years. Both of them made their mark on the history of college football, and there was a majesty to this game when those two men stood on the sidelines, which I know that you and I will never forget.
We had some great times down on those sidelines. People say how tough that job is, but well, you're down there for all this emotion, the ebb and flow of emotion throughout a ball game, and then seeing the guys suffer through losses and celebrate through wins.
And JB got to talk to the Eagle today. But the Eagle didn't land on his head, thank heavens. So now the clock ticks away. The Auburn band plays. The Alabama band on the far side is silent. Berger puts his knee down, and that'll do it. 7-4 for Alabama, 9-1-1 for Auburn. These messages.
Sometimes you got it today. Emerson's got it right. Fine-tune your life. Nobody's got to tell you. Emerson does it right.
Fine-tune your life with Emerson.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
I think little Kevin is ready for a radio-controlled car this year. I can see him now as his Radio Shack Off-Road Wild Champ takes to the hills. Or maybe the Malibu 4x4 off-roader. It's got both 2 or 4-wheel drive. Or I could get him that Radio Shack Turbo Racer. It sure kicks up the dirt. Little Kevin would really like that.
Remote radio-controlled toys. $11.95 to $159.95. Only at Radio Shack.
Dear Pop, I know how anxious you must be to get this letter, but I think you'll find it was worth the wait. As you can see, he's got your eyes, your smile, even your stubborn chin. So we thought he should also have your name. Say hello to Jonathan Jr. Merry Christmas, Pop. We're coming home.
Christmas and Kodak.
You take a look again at the final score of today's 52nd meeting between Auburn and Alabama. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Derek Thomas of Alabama and freshman running back Stacy Danley of Auburn. A check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated by Chevrolet to each school's general scholarship fund to further assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields. Let's go down to James Brown.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. I'm with Coach Dye. And, Coach, you've been given an awful lot of credit for changing from a running game to a passing game. But today it was back to your most comfortable running game.
We ran the ball more tonight, but Alabama did an excellent job of taking away some of our stuff with the passing game. And we went back to the running game, and we couldn't have won the football game without it.
And, of course, you're back to your second Cotton Bowl. Make that Sugar Bowl.
Sugar Bowl. Well, we're mighty happy about that. And this has been a fun football team to coach, a great group of kids. And we've had a little adversity, a few distractions. But the thing about it, I believe it brought them closer together, and they stayed together. And it was a great win here tonight. And I'm mighty happy for all Auburn people and all. Coach Curry and his staff have done an excellent job. This game here tonight is they had a great game plan for us and deserve a lot of credit. Hard-fought game and could have gone either way right down to the end.
And final question, Jim Lampley mentioned that it seems like you finally settled down. Now you may be a permanent resident. You bought yourself a 1,000-acre ranch. Are you in fact settled in for good?
I was hoping when I came to Auburn that I could stay there as long as I was in coaching, and I hope I can.
Congratulations on your second trip to the Sugar Bowl. All right, Jim Lampley, let's take it back upstairs to you.
Thank you very much, JB. And as we have mentioned several times during the course of the day, tomorrow there's a great doubleheader of college football action here on CBS Sports. For a preview of those two games, again, James Brown.
The Seminoles and Gators.